is it better to do a fewer amount of streams, or is it better to do a lot of streams at a longer amount? And there's a reason to it. Lady brought this topic to me, and I really liked it. I wanted to definitely explore it some more because it's a very interesting topic. There's a lot of people who talk about wanting to be able to do this full time and make a light and make a career out of being a streamer. So there's some things that we've noticed and other people have touched on and talked about that we thought might be beneficial to bring up as a way of helping people out in doing that. So, with that being said, lady, explain to me what you meant when you brought up to me the idea of quality versus quantity.
So I see a lot of the time when we talk about people always talk about how they're biting off more than they can chew. They're tired, they come home from work, they're struggling with family time and trying to manage the concept of family and streams. And it's like Lucha said, streaming becomes an addiction. And it's not a bad addiction, but it is definitely something that you can definitely have take over your life. And the difference is in putting out quality content versus quantity, because you might be able to put in a ton of content and it may look really great, but how much are you sparing to be able to put out that quantity of content? Are you sacrificing family time? Are you sacrificing your sleep? Is it affecting your life in other ways? Sometimes from the long term aspect of it, it might be better to take on a little bit less of a larger project and maybe have it take you a little bit more time to put out videos or get on a regimen of putting out videos or whatever you're putting out versus just going live all the time and just bam, 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 and maybe not being on point when you're live or having those streams maybe not be the best quality that you want to put out because you're not at your best.
Well, another way to expand on that, though, too, is I see a lot of people there who, and there's nothing wrong with doing this, but I see 8, 10, 12-hour streams, 24-hour streams,
Mhm.
all great, all, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I'm not knocking anybody who does that, right? But streaming yes, it's about putting out entertaining gameplay and, high kill games or quality conversations. But how can you honestly, like, can you look at me and say, how many people do you know that can hold a 12-hour conversation continuously?
Can't,
Can you talk about the
can't.
same thing for 12 hours? I mean, even Disney, can you honestly go
No.
for 12 hours talking about Disney?
I mean, I would love to say that I could, but no, there is no way. I would run out of either topics to talk about. I would run into where I was repeating myself. Um, Even doing just a 2 hour stream on Disney content, I find myself circling back around and circling the wagons and having to pull myself back and say, we've already covered this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd have to have 12 hours worth of notes and you're going to sit break it down by every hour. This is what we're going to talk about and hope that whatever you have on that paper your chat doesn't bring up earlier in the stream to where you've lost that entire hour of content you planned on talking about, if that makes sense.
Yep. And the other thing is, after so long, you get burnt out. Like, you're not going to tell me that there's not a single person
Mm-mm.
who's going to sit in a chair for 12 hours and be okay. Your body gets
I do
sore.
it. I do it every day and my ass hurts when we go to bed.
Exactly. And are you the same as when you first started?
No.
Exactly.
No. And that's what made me think about it is I was very concerned that I was not putting out quality content and that I was scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to be able to put content out because I was afraid that if I wasn't, that lack of content was going to make me be forgotten about.
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm talking about. And then here's the other thing though too, is that, and when we talk about quantity, or when I think of quantity, right?
Hmm.
There are people who stream 5, 6 days a week.
Right. We used to do that. I can't do that anymore.
Well, it's not just that, but should you do 5 or 6 streams a week?
I think that if you're going to be doing shorts for YouTube, or you're going to be adding clippings, and you're going to be doing TikToks, and you're going to be making all that extra content, you have to have a day off in between streams, or or 2 days off in between streams, or there is no way that you are going to be able to keep up and keep the stamina up to where you think you should be.
Exactly. But here's the other thing, though, too. How do you, if you want to grow, right? There's a difference. We say that we always talk about this, right? And I heard everybody has said this at some point. There's a difference between being a streamer and a content creator, right? A streamer is just
Correct.
somebody who just goes live, right? They just hit the button, they go live, and they're here. If you want to be just a streamer, this conversation, this podcast episode is not for you. This doesn't apply to you, right?
Correct.
But if you want to be a content creator, you want to turn this into a career, you want to go as far as you can with it, where you're building a brand for yourself, a community for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, that being live 5 or 6 days a week for 6, 7, 8 hours a day is the right way to go, because you need to be networking. You need to be making content that drives to your stream. How is anybody going to find you? You know, we talked about in one of our earlier episodes. I think is our interview with System was probably our first one or our second one with Ram. We talked about how many millions of streamers are out there.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to grow in a platform or in a world of millions of people if you're not out there getting your name out there beyond that, right? So as a content, go ahead.
The problem that people think of is they think big term, big picture, and everybody's answer is all, let me bang this out, let me bang this out. I'm going to hit 20 platforms at once, and I'm going to bring out like multitudes of content, and I'm just going to slap it here and slap it here and slap it here. And the problem with that is that's where we're talking about the quality over quantity. Because if you are trying to run 20 platforms, say Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and you're trying to get all of your content out to all of these places, and you're not just focusing on one and growing one at a time, you are making yourself look like a shit show, but B, you're creating a disaster. Because how can you move on to one platform before you have learned how to master one? Why not master the one and learn how to make it grow there, and then be like, okay, so I got it here, I've got a handle on this, now I can add in, say, TikTok, or now I can add in Instagram. Because you see all these people do this, they create all these social medias for their accounts, and then they bombard them in the beginning with 500 million different types of videos and content, and then all of a sudden you hit that brick wall and you're like, fuck, there's nothing more for me to give, because I have given you everything that I have. And then when you recover from that wall, you never come back the way you started at the beginning.
Okay, so I get what you're saying.
Because I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of it.
So what you're saying is learn to. It's kind of like that saying goes: learn to walk before you run, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying, like, if you're a Twitch streamer or live space or wherever you're at,
Start
okay.
with one platform. So say you.
Are you talking
say
about?
you
But are you
stream-
talking about live streaming?
No. I'm talking about taking your content and blowing it on beyond your live stream to make it extended content to get your name out there. Because that's what everybody's big conversations are, is
But
how
here's
do we
what here
grow?
right, and I get that, right? But when we're in terms of quality, okay, I get what you're saying 100%. Get the quality right there, but when I talk quality, right? After 8 hours, you're burnt out of sitting in your chair. That's what I'm talking about,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, that too.
I 100% think that you should expand onto other platforms, right? In some way, shape, or form, right? You whether I'm not saying you have to live stream on the platform, right? But think of TikTok and YouTube Shorts, for example, right? You need to make sure that you're. I 100% think that you should be doing them. You should be using social media to promote yourself. Think of it as a commercial, as a sales pitch, right? It's as a teaser trailer for a movie, okay? That should be a big. I shouldn't say big. Let me rephrase that. I think that should be high up on the priority list, okay? Because how are people going to know what your content is if you're not doing that, right? Now, the reason why I say if you're doing 6 days a week of 8 hours a day of streaming, you're going to get burnt out. That's where I'm talking about quality versus quantity. Stream for several days a week, but scale it back. Make sure your body, your mind, mentally is attuned to what you're doing, right? If you don't worry, there's plenty of people who are disabled who can't get a normal 9 to 5 job. Okay, that's their only thing. Great for them, but I'm talking about people like us, like a majority of us here. We have 9 to 5
We work
jobs,
full-time jobs.
right? We work 9 to 5 jobs. We come home. We have to figure out how to balance family time. We got to figure out how to balance, doing the extra stuff that we want to do, whether it's networking, clipping, game. Just sometimes you need a day to game offline, right? So that's why I think that quantity should not be a focus unless you're talking YouTube Shorts or TikToks. Your offline content, and that has to be quality as well. All right, just slapping together 500 clips of, oh, I got a great headshot. I got a great. I can easily go through mine and say, damn, in 4 hours I got headshot, 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 headshot. That's great. Good for you that you can get headshots. So can everybody else if they really sat there and tried.
I was going to say, what does that bring to your content? If you're just spewing tidbits here and there, you're not growing your content. You need to be able to give the good, the bad, and the ugly of what your stream looks like.
Um, but it's not even just the good,
Am
the
I
bad.
wrong?
No, it's not just the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you stream for 8 hours a day, okay, let me try rephrasing this for you. Okay, streaming for 8 hours
No,
a day.
I understand your comment. I 100% understand what you're saying. And I agree with you. If you work full time, you stream 8 hours a day, and
But
then you come
but
home.
listen. I'm talking about even your clips. It's not about. Sure, if you want to do the ugly side of your streams, cool. Like the bloopers, awesome. Love the idea. I think it's great, right? But that's where you need to make sure that your definition of what your stream is about, what your content, your brand, your name is about, right? Are you just a fun-loving person who people can come in, talk some shit on, and go from there? If so, great. Then yes, by all means, do your bloopers. Okay, I get it, and I support it.
See, Fate brings out a valid point here. This is why he is so scared to start streaming again. Because it's been over a year, and he's freaked out because he's got all this stuff going on. That is something that people deal with. They don't handle the real life, and they think that this is just their hideaway. And I like the fact that you took some time off to take care of you. Like, that is so important.
But comments like that, right? Okay, so for those of you who are listening, right, if you can't watch this and you're listening on Spotify, because guys, don't forget, we are putting this on Spotify for the people who can't stick around for the whole thing, or you missed it, right? Maybe you don't want to watch the VOD, maybe it's easier to watch it on Spotify. All right, we have a comment here on Livespace. Fade Dealer says, that's why I'm so scared to start streaming again, because it's been over a year and I'm so freaked, like putting meds on. So this is exactly why I'm talking about quality. Okay, quality is attuned to your schedule. Quality is attuned to what your body, your mind can handle. Okay, everybody gets on here and thinks that to make it, you've got to stream for 8 hours a day because you need those subs, you need those bits. No. If all you're about is doing that streaming because you think you're never going to get it. Okay, we talked about this. We've talked about this a few times in some of these recent episodes. Live streaming is like your TV show. Okay, your offline content, Twitter posts, your TikToks, your YouTube Shorts, your networking. That is your commercials. That's your advertisements. That's your teasers. Okay, that's your chance to say, this is who I am. Networking allows people to see how you interact in a conversation without your content there. TikToks and YouTube Shorts are to get little clips, little teasers, little commercials of what you got. Okay. Twitter post is just your sales pitch. It's a quick sales pitch because, yeah, and again, quality goes into that as well, into a Twitter post. If you just put live now on this platform, which unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest, I did that because I was in a hurry, because I came home and I was tired, and I'm a prime example of what needs to be focused on quality. Okay, I literally just said live now because I'd already posted a couple of times that this was happening at 8 o'clock, right?
Oh, and
So,
see, now tonight I went out and put the quality post up.
so exactly. But that when you're advertising, you have to put a quality post there. I just went to. Faith says yes. If that's the case, it won't happen. I just want to stream because I love it meeting new people. Exactly, right? Fate.
Yes.
So Fate is sitting here saying that he's talking about he just wants to meet people. So Fate, for somebody like you, this is not what I'm talking about. Okay, if you want to stream just to stream, right, and to make new people, awesome, love it, have fun, do your thing, support it, but I'll emphasize again, do it on your terms. Do it as your body can handle it, as your life can handle it, as your mind can handle it. Okay, because it is a lot to take in, it's a lot to deal with, and you can only do so much, right?
It took us a long time to get to where we were on the same page on streaming.
Exactly. So, but quality is key in everything. This podcast episode, this episode that we're talking about right here now, okay, quality versus good. This is for the people who want to see something come out of it, who have the ambition of growing a brand, of growing to a point where they're looking at sponsorship deals, partnerships, affiliates. Okay, it's business, right? You can't just slap a business name on something and say I'm professional. No, that's not how it works. Okay, you have to approach it in a manner that makes sense. Okay, new businesses, for example, right? They don't just slap a name up there and say I'm good to go. No, you have to advertise. You have to make business connections. You have to get connections with your suppliers, with your dealers, or whatever. I've never started my own business before outside of just trying to stream. So
So when you're thinking starting your own business, you have the right mindset. It's how much money are you spending in advertising? How much time are you spending in advertising? How much time did you do for your setup, for your prep? Are you ready for your day to start? Like, have you taken the time to verify your numbers are right, your books are right?
So say, like, I'm gonna say this, and I'll put this out there for everybody listening. Ask yourself this: if a business opens up and does no advertising, no flyers, no commercials, nothing that is eye-catching, right? They just put a name on a building and say to themselves, "We're open." How likely do you think the traffic is going to come through your door?
If you are lucky to be in a prime location that is an extremely busy place and you make a big deal of it out of on the front of your building, the weekend you open,
nope,
you
not saying nothing
you
flashy. You're just putting a name up on your thing. You put a flyer in the window. That's it. You're not doing anything extra.
You might see 10 people if you're lucky in a busy shopping plaza on a Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm. So,
because people, when they go to a plaza, are very mind driven. They know exactly where they're going. They don't go to shop around. When you want to shop around, you go to a mall.
Keep going.
So there's a difference. So that's what you're going to think of. Are you the mall where people are going to shop around and look for you? Or are you I slapped my business up and I didn't do anything to prepare for it? Like, you've got to know how much, like, if you want to just slap it up and throw it in a mall and hope people walk by and spend money at you, great. If you want to be the plaza person that is going to legitimately put the time and the work in and give it everything, then that's who you need to be. That's how you have to define your content creation.
And you said it, and you used the perfect analogy. You used the perfect analogy, a mall. Okay? Streamers are a mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're a dime a dozen.
Exactly, but go into a mall. How many businesses, how many stores are in a mall? A good sized mall. 50 to 100? Easily?
Yeah.
You go to more malls. I'm a guy. I'm not willingly going to a mall unless I know it's going to make you happy and I'm getting laid later, okay? So like that.
Oh my god.
So that is why I'm saying.
No, you're right. No, men who don't know anything about malls. So you got to remember, I've spent 20 years of my life working in malls. Mm-hmm. So and at least 5 to 6 years of it in plazas. So I know the difference. When you think of a mall, malls are like a streaming platform. You walk through the mall, you see what you can see, you look at the right places to go, and system nailed it on the head. There are prime locations in the mall. If you are next to a Macy's or a Dillard's or someplace that's highly known and you're in a really good prime location, you're gonna get foot traffic. You get to a place where maybe you're far back and you're not in a great location, you're fucked. Like, it's like the front of life space. You are either in the prime location because you're there or you're not there. It's one or the
It's that,
other.
and I'm seeing this in chat, right? The system puts this in there as well, right? And I'm going to use you as the example because you ran a store as a general manager in a mall, right?
Yes.
You were under the
Yes.
stairs. You came down the stairs. You were tucked into that corner. You weren't in the corner when you came out. You saw it there. You had to go like around the stairs a little bit
You
to
had
be
to
able
go
to get.
around the escalator.
And how much traffic did you get in that store?
I took it from when I took that store over, it was a 2.5, it was say probably a $300,000 store. When I finished
But how many
and I
people?
left,
But how many people honestly came through there unless they were walking out, unless they happened to be walking past it? They already didn't forget about the ones that
don't.
forget about the
And
ones that
look at
knew you
their
were there.
sys-
Hold on. Forget about the ones that knew you were there. Okay, I'm taking those out of the equation. I'm talking about people who were walking through. How many were likely to see it because they either went up the escalator somewhere else, or they cut between those escalators because they were leaving. They had to go through that one store to get out the door. How many
you
people?
were lucky if on a daily that's not a weekend, I was lucky if I saw 50.
Exactly.
And I was in that store for 2
So
years.
now look at it as streaming, right? Streaming is a mall, right? Unless you're, even if you're featured on the front page of any platform, whether it's Kick, Twitch, Livespace, it doesn't matter, right? Even YouTube, okay? You can't just say, oh, I'm on the front page, I'm going to get views, right? People, if I don't know you, there's a good chance I'm not clicking on your stream because I'm going to these sites for a reason, right? I go under if I open up Twitch or Livespace, right? Yeah, look, I scroll through and I look to see there, right, for a second, but the chances are I'm not clicking on it because I'm looking for something specific. I'm looking for something that catches my eye, right? And that's where quality again comes into everything. Quality is so critical when you're streaming, when you're making a stream title, a Twitter post, and then like that's just your initial look is when people scroll past you. What are you doing that is quality wise that is catching their eye to bring it into your stream? Right. So very few people are like me, right? I'm looking for that eye-catching thing, right? We talked about
Right.
this with Lucha, right? He's looking for something specific. He wants that eye-catching thing. We all talk about this.
He wants that personal connection.
That's when he goes in. I'm talking about initially. Because if you hold
Look,
hold your cursor over a stream, you get a little preview of what's going on, right? So, but you don't get
Okay.
enough of it. The title is what's going to catch your eye. The name is what's going to catch your eye, right?
I'm like Lucha. I'm a person. I'm a people person. If the person looks like they're not having fun, I'm not gonna stop. Or if they're not, like, that is me though. I want to know that when I click and I'm hovering over there, like you say, I want to know that y'all are laughing and having a good time, or you're willing to talk and show off who you are as a person, not just sitting there with some pouty ass fucking look on your face like, fuck you, I'm here, you know? Like, no, because I'm not going to keep. I've been in streams where I have been in there for a good 10 minutes. I've said hi and you don't get shit back. I'm not going to waste my time on somebody who will not put their time into getting to know me. If I'm going to click on your stream and you're not going to put that time in to take the time to get to know me, nah, we're good.
And that again comes to quality because
Yeah.
everybody's so focused on gameplay, and I see System talking about gameplay, right? With first-person shooters, right? Somebody's trying to build off a first-person shooter. You've got to have quality beyond just your content. I'm telling you,
God, yes.
for everybody listening here, okay? If you are a first-person shooter, you cannot. I promise you, it doesn't matter how good you are, right? It doesn't matter unless your name is big enough. Your gameplay does not mean shit if the quality of your engagement does not keep me going, does not keep your viewers in going, right? You have to engage because they can only watch so much for so long. That's why quality encompasses so much. Quality does not stop with just the gameplay. Quality doesn't stop at the stream title. Quality doesn't stop on your TikToks or on your Twitter posts. It has to be there all the time. So focus on what you can do with a time frame, okay, for starters. Focus on what you can do with a time frame that encompasses a quality stream. If you know that you can only do 2 hours of a quality stream, okay, do 2 hours, okay? If you are limited on artistry, okay? If you're not an artist, you're not a digital graphics person, okay? Then focus on what you can do with it, okay? That means you might have to hire somebody to do your graphics for you. That means that you might have to spend some extra time on. There's plenty of sites, okay? There are plenty of sites that you can get free graphics from. Hell, Canva can get you free graphics, okay? Find something, the closest thing that you can that is eye-catching, that you enjoy, because at the end of the day, quality also starts with you enjoying your content, you enjoying the look of it, okay? That's something that even I am working on, even ladies working on, making sure the initial graphics, all right? Because if you're live right now and you're looking at this, all you see is 2 cameras. Not exactly eye-catching, okay? It's just 2 people sitting here flapping their gums, thinking they know what they're talking about, okay?
Who probably don't know shit about shit.
We're just 2 people who've been doing this for a little while. Seen it all.
I love Canva. I love Canva. I live on fucking Canva.
And that's my point, though. You have to learn it. You took the time to learn it, right? You took the time to learn Canva. You have got some experience there. So you did the research. You did the homework, and you're learning. Your skills are building, okay? So that's there. That's what I'm talking about, though. Putting the quality time into building up, okay? Now, see, I'm reading a chat. When people don't care about your personality, they care about how good you are. I know plenty of streamers, and then they hardly know a champ, but they kick ass with shooters, and people are in there. Awesome. That's great. But I guarantee you, system, I'm going to disagree with you 100%. Okay? They did not get there because of their gameplay. They had to build to it. Okay? After a while, they focused on 2 things: getting their gameplay to a point where it was that good that people came there, but they had to network, they had to promote themselves, they had to go out there. That's where that extra quality comes into, putting that quality time, okay? And I'm going to keep harping on quality all day long, okay? Because you have to build, and that takes quality time and quality effort. You can't just here and there do this and do that. It has to be consistent. The quality effort, the quality promotion has to be there. You have to be doing it on a consistent basis. That's what I'm talking about by quality as well. All of it ties in together. So, again, guys, I cannot stress this enough. If you are looking to turn your streaming and your content creation into a brand, into something that can really grow, because if you are just thinking streaming, just turning your camera on and streaming game is going to build that brand and build your name, it's not. Go look at anybody. I'm not talking about Tim the Tap Man. I'm not talking about Dr. Disrespect. Look at anybody who has people donating subs. Okay, I want to come back to this as much as I hate using this analogy. Look at why they're getting those subs donated. Okay, look at what they're putting out. Is it high energy that's keeping is keeping people engaged? Is it gameplay with But then research how they got there. Okay. Go back to their roots and see about what they've done to get there. Okay? Because I guarantee you're going to find that there was a journey just like everybody else is going through, where they had to start here and take each step and work their way up the ladder. So I can't stress that enough. All right? We're going to give my co-host here some time to get her shit together. So, I'm going to come in the chat here for a second, right? For those of you who are here.
Okay. I think I'm okay.
I think we got it back there, all the technical difficulties.
My headset's bleeping in my ear. I realized it was dying.
So, again, coming back to it though, I can't get behind. Again, quantity. I cannot get my head behind quantity. Quantity streams, quantity TikToks. Posting 20 TikToks a day isn't going to get you anywhere. Posting 20 to 100 YouTube shorts because you have this clip and this clip and this clip and this clip. If you're enjoying it and you're learning it, great, go for it. Post it. Test the waters all day long. But do it because you're learning it. Right? Lady? I mean, babe.
No, I completely agree. So the thing that you need to remember is that when you're when you're looking at algorithms and you're looking at stuff like that, yes, algorithms play a part. But if you overload, so if you're looking at your TikTok, and so we'll use TikTok as an example because that's the one I've been spending my time crunching my brain figuring out how to use, is that if you have TikTok and you're posting 30 clips on TikTok a day, okay? Think about those 30 clips. They may be quality clips, right? But the problem comes down to is now you have overloaded your viewer with so much content
Well, let
that
me.
then that becomes the expectation going forward.
And let me change
And
this
the
around too. Hold on. Let me cut in there. I want before you go any further. Let me flip this around too on quantity. Okay, I'm not saying do one TikTok and post because everybody. I see this all the time. You need to have the sounds, the trending sounds, and the trending stickers, and the flashy stuff on there, right? But if you post 200 stickers on there with sparkling glitter and you got words all over it, there is a point behind. There is too much on a TikTok or on a YouTube short. Okay, you can
I
you
think that less is more sometimes.
exactly have your words, have something sparkling or shiny or eye catching on it. I 100% agree with you on that. But if you ask yourself, if you get a card in the mail, right, and it's just slapped with sticker, and some glitter and some glue and some buttons and some of this and some of that,
See, Joker brings up a valid point too. Sometimes
exactly.
quantity is you practicing to get higher quality.
And I literally just said it. I agree with you.
Oh,
I just said that.
okay.
If you're doing it to learn, right? Great. There's a point behind it. Okay, but if you're doing it just to do it, that's different.
Mhm.
Go to any big TikToker, right? Okay, let's focus on TikToker. All right.
What do you consider a big TikToker? Let's start there.
And there's lots of them out there. I like the one, the anxiety couple, for example. I was literally just on there and I was looking through this because I was thinking about this, trying to get ready for this, and use them as an example because I wanted to touch on this, right? Anxiety couple, they don't post every day, right? But they have a lot of different stuff, right? And there's nothing flashy to it. There's just a caption and what there is on there, right? But I've also seen the ones where they do it where there is words on there. There also is some music in there and everything. That to me, it's not every day. There's not 200 clips or 200 TikToks a day. It's consistent enough that it goes with their content. They've blended what they're doing. They also have a business that they do. They do clips and stuff from it where they showcase some of their stuff, and they don't always stream on there every day, right? The quality is there because of what they're doing, and I'm sure they take the time to edit it. I'm sure they go through it and make sure it's great and everything, and it's fine. But they don't have all of that in there. They don't have the flashy stickers and the flashy buttons.
You don't have to have all of that.
Right.
So, because I have a couple that I watch, they don't have any of that. And I absolutely adore them, but it's always like them joking around with each other and like the stupid shit that they're doing. So, like, prime example, today they just bought a house and he threw a fit because they got their first electric bill. And it was her watching him throw a fit over getting their first electric bill. It was a fake electric bill that she made up at school while she was working in her her students were working in class. But for her, it was a fucking hysterical joke because here he is money crunching because they want to have another baby. So it's like a hysterical moment for them, and that's what their content is. But they have no flashy stuff. They have no like song. I mean, there's the occasional song here or there because it goes with what you're looking at. But a lot of them don't have all the flashy shit that you don't need.
Now I do need to cut in because we are getting joined by a legend here. Okay, he's very goofy, but he's got some great points that he's made in the
He
past
does.
with us. So let me introduce Joker here, guys. Joker, if you want to say hello.
Hey guys, I can't get on camera because I'm driving home, but I figured I'd talk to y'all for a little bit while I was on the way home.
No, you're good.
We
Appreciate you
appreciate
joining.
you.
So no, to your point though, Joker, I 100% agree, and that's just, and overload it. Learn. You should overload it. Learn the times, right? The trending times, because if you research anything, there are trending. There are specific times in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night, right? And you got to find where what works for you. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to where your clips pop off, right? Because they do pop
Hmm.
off at specific times, right? And
Hmm.
so yes, I 100%, but only to a point. To learn where to post, or when to post, I should say. After a while, when you can nail down, hey, this is when I should be posted, start scheduling your stuff to only be posted at that time, so that way you're hitting those numbers consecutively. You know,
So what do you do when the algorithm changes on you? Because TikTok is notorious for fucking their algorithm up on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I
So
post on
you'll get used to
TikTok.
those times, and then they'll fuck you and go, we changed them.
So here's what's weird. So like I post YouTube Shorts pretty much every day and the TikTok every day. Usually it's the same one. I'm just putting it on different platforms.
mm-hmm,
I drop it on 7 a.m. because I my time because I noticed on YouTube if I drop it at 7 a.m. I get a lot of views, a lot of action.
mm-hmm.
TikTok for the first hour, I'll have 300 views, 30 likes, and I won't get a view or like after that. Their algorithm is wild.
Yeah,
So I've learned with TikTok that TikTok comes down to your hashtags and what you do with that. So the big one that I really found with them is I downloaded an app, and I'll have to give it to you guys. It is a
Hmm.
hashtag app, and it tells you everything that's trending based on what you're posting. So it is
Hmm.
supposed to specifically help you get the right hashtags to give you more views. So when I
Okay.
post my stuff, I post whenever I want, and I use my hashtags off of this app. And I have seen that I have one or two videos that may be trending 10 times way more than Leads. And Lead will post his maybe 30, 40 minutes behind me. And he may not see the traction that I see, but I'll see the traction that he isn't seeing. And I think it
Hmm.
all comes down to the wordplay that you're using compared to the algorithm and the time frames, because I have Hootsuite, and Hootsuite just releases everything for me whenever.
okay,
That's
And
so
Hootsuite will
crazy.
release everything to one platform, to will release every, like, so say you want to do one post, but you want to release it to 12 platforms. Hootsuite will do everything for you. All you do is you schedule a time, you say, this is where I want it, and it just goes bang, 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 and you're done. You don't ever touch it again.
That's crazy.
I love it. It was the best thing I did when I started my blog, because I am notorious for writing a blog and putting it up and never telling anybody I wrote it.
Because I 100% will sit here and stress out and be like, man, what hashtags do I need to put?
yep.
I'll send you the app in Discord.
I just shoot.
No, but
Go ahead, Joker.
I was gonna say to be fair, like the hashtags I'm using on YouTube are working great. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't put out a video no more on a short anymore on YouTube that won't at least hit 4,000 views.
Damn. Okay.
So it is called hashtag expert.
Heck
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna download that.
I downloaded that, and then I downloaded Hootsuite. Those are the two things I live by. If I want content out there and I want to put it out to multiple platforms all at once, so that I don't have to worry about it. But you can also go in there and you can also schedule it to pre-do it at any time of the day you want. So if you want it to do release in the middle of the night while you're sleeping, it'll do it. Nothing left for you to
I'm definitely getting on that train.
do.
And
But
and we were talking about quantity and quality. What I was meaning by it was kind of like you were saying, Misfit. Like I'll drop quantity for me is not necessarily dropping like 3 or 4 videos a day, but
mhm.
like a consistent video, like one a day. Because I think if you drop like one short a day and put it on TikTok and put it on YouTube, you still got quantity because you're being consistent and doing that every day. I
But that,
noticed if you put like 3 or 4 videos out, you ain't gonna catch no traction for some reason.
yep. It's about,
Hmm.
but that comes back to the quality, which can also tie into consistency, and there's so many elements that go into quality. Where yes, you
Hmm.
can do a quantity over a consistent time period, but at some what point is your quantity just oversaturating what you're doing, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like I live on Twitter. As much as I hate the Twitter, as much as Twitter just bugs the crap out of me because it's like I got some new stuff on there and stuff. That's one of the reasons why I do it, and it actually as much it gives me some conversations for stuff at work. Because if I talk news and politics and stuff like that with ladies, you can see she's sleeping with her eyes open basically when I talk.
Pretty much.
Um,
Oh, I am so like he tried for a long time, and I finally looked at him like 4 or 5 years into our marriage and said, "I love you, but please find somebody else to talk this bullshit with you,
well, no, but
I
so,
hear that.
please."
but for the like, let's look at Twitter for example. If you see the same person just posting the same type of clip, right? It's just we'll use just a basic gaming clip, and it's just headshot, headshot, headshot. There's nothing really more interesting. Are you really going to pay much mind to it? It's just another clip that you've already seen before, or if it's just a hell, we'll even use drama. If it's just another negative drama post, and it's just nothing but drama, negativity, how likely
Hmm.
are you to research them further, or are you more likely to turn them off? Like that's what I mean by that. The quality of and that's why I started off by saying, your offline stuff, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Discord, networking, all of that is like your advertisement. Again, I'm going to say this again for anybody who's just on, is your commercials, your advertisements, your spoilers, your teasers, everything that you need to
It's
drive
your
people.
sponsorship spot.
I mean, would you agree with that, Joker? Is that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Without a doubt. Without a
okay?
doubt.
Um, So, what is you like? I've seen your YouTubes, right? And I've paid attention to your channel, especially since you announced that you're going to be focusing more on the or the offline content more than anything. And I see how people engage with you in your stream. It's hard to tell on live space, but just the way that you talk, it's easy to see that you're getting engagement. Is it?
Hmm.
Do you find that by kind of scaling back your live stream to focus more on your offline long term or long form content like that is working better for you to get things a little bit better for you and when you're live, or what is you say is the quantity?
See, I would say so for sure because I was streaming like 4 or 5 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's to a point where it's 2 to 3 times a week, and you're kind of giving people like that saying you never know what you got till it's gone. So
Right.
it's kind of like, oh man, I remember when Joker used to stream 5 times a week. I was always in there, and now people are like looking forward to whenever they see me. I'm gonna stream Monday and then Friday, and they're like, all right, well I gotta be there. And then in the meantime, they're pretty much watching YouTube content of things that I basically would do on stream anyway, which is react to videos or talk about things. So it draws them into the live stream as well. My follower count on Live Space has actually gone up about 20 since I
Oh,
got consistent on YouTube.
okay.
So
That's crazy.
um, I'm very so for me, like quantity would be your quantity won't turn into quality unless you look at your quantity and find ways to get better every single time you film something or stream something.
Basically, it's
So if
putting
you just
out.
do the same thing over and over without any improvement, um, the goal should definitely be anytime you film a video or anytime you stream, you rewatch it or
Mm-hmm.
you're editing, you go, well, next time I stream or next time I make a video, I'm gonna focus on this aspect of it to get better. That's the only way your quantity is gonna turn into quality.
I do agree with that. I do believe that with every video or every piece of offline content you put out, you have to find ways to make it better, because if you don't, you're just hitting that circle of insanity and you're spinning on the spinning wheel or on the Ferris wheel, and there's no way to get off and there's no way to get better, because there's no way for you to get to that next level if you're just spinning.
Yep, yep, for sure, for sure. That's quantity to quantity getting into quality for me basically. I'm such a perfectionist like with editing. So I'm getting to a point now where like I'll do a video and then the next video I do when I'm editing, I'm like, all right, well, last time I really worked on um engaging and looking into the camera more when I was doing it. This time I'm gonna work on transitions better. And next time I'm gonna work on syncing in the music better. And if you do that, you keep your interest in editing, you'll feel really, really accomplished whenever you're finished with the video. And it makes it fun and you're not number watching at that point. So then your quantity is starting to become quality at that point.
And I think with quality, you gain more followers and more traction anyway, because people get used to seeing the quality get better each time. So they
Yes.
start to, you're giving them an expectation of what to expect, and you're only building on it. It's when you start to slack off and disappoint is to where you hit that backslide, and then you start to backtrack where you're either losing followers or not gaining followers because you're backtracking so bad, because you're not taking the time to nitpick over those little things.
Yep. Yep. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm very hard on myself. So
And trust me, I can tell.
I,
I,
I'll sit there and I'll like do a video and I'll edit it and then I'll put it out there and then everybody's like, man, that was a good video. But then I'll watch it and I'm like, I should have did a different transition there, or I should have did something different when I was talking about a certain point into the video. Or, but with that comes bettering yourself because iron's always gonna sharpen iron. So whenever you kind of are tough on yourself, sometimes you got to kind of sit back and go, yeah, I did a good job, but I'm not satisfied until I'll never be satisfied, honestly. I'm just a very driven person. That's just how I've always been.
I think that's the difference. So like when I've been looking at a lot of like the TikTok quality lately, and I'm using TikTok as my for instance because um Lead always loves to hit the streaming, like the live streaming quality on his end. So when I'm looking at like TikTok quality or like YouTube quality, for me, I'm looking at was the point made, did they legitimately like succeed in getting their point across? Was it entertaining? Was it stupid? Was it worth my time? Like, because you figure on TikTok alone, you've got at least 1.5 million content creators that you're fighting against. So,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody and their brothers either on what their business is, what they're making money doing, or they're on their streaming kick, or whatever their content is. And I think that that's the difference is where are we stopping, where are we going, like have we hit the point that we want to hit? So you kind of got to make yourself a checklist, like check, yeah, I thought it was entertaining.
but
Yep, check, yeah, I thought it was this. And I think that you can think all those things, but the only real way to tell is when you're looking at your comments.
but there should never be a
Yes.
point. But
Yes.
there should never be a point where you're saying that you've hit your mark because you're if again we got to remember we're talking about this is not for somebody who just wants to and fate
Right.
and you and Chant. I don't mean anything bad by this, but it's not for somebody who just wants to come on and make connections. That's not the point of what we're talking about here. It's somebody who's trying to get to a point where they build that brand and they build that name for
They're
themselves.
building their business.
Right. So when we talk about hitting that mark and you're building a brand, it should always be what's next. It should always be okay. I hit this one, so here's the next step. There's never an end goal from you. You know, so yeah, just because you hit so many viewers or you hit so many subs, okay, cool. Let's use subs for example. If you get 10 subs, have you hit your mark? Okay, cool. You hit your is that all you're looking for? Is 10 subs? If you're looking to make money off of this, how are you? You can't do anything off of 10 subs. It should be okay. What do I need to do to get 20 people to sub, 30 people to sub? If you're on YouTube, cool. Joker, how many subscribers are you at right now?
I'm at 151. About 3 weeks ago, I was only at 32. So I've gained about 120 in the last 21 days.
Okay,
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah, just on YouTube.
yeah.
Hmm.
So 100, let's say 150, right? So if I was Joker, my next goal that I'd be looking at is okay. What do I got to do to get it to 175? What's the next
Hmm.
step? How do I keep growing it? What's the quality that I need to get behind it? That's going to get people to say, yeah, I'm enjoying this enough to where I want to hit that subscribe button. It's always looking next, right? You know, um, we'll use podcasters for example. You know, Joker, you and Lucha are starting one. I've seen there's plenty of people who are doing it. How can I get more traffic to listen to my podcast? And that's not just a live stream, but how do I get people to Spotify or to Apple Podcast or to Google Podcast? How do I get those people to actually turn that on? You know, we'll say ours in it, for example. How do I get people to go to Spotify, follow it and then listen to it, because getting a follow on it's great and all, but if I've been studying this pretty heavily. Part of what gets you the answer, how many people are listening to it, right? How do you get that audience to continuously come back and keep them listening and on the next episode? And Joker, I think, has the right idea with how he's doing his streaming. It's not about quantity. It's not about putting out an episode every single day. I'm not listening to a podcast every single day. I'm going to wait a few days and go back and look. Sure, I might miss 1 or 2 episodes, right? But I'm going to listen to those episodes on my terms. So how do you get those people to make sure that at least once a week they're turning your podcast back on? You got to make sure you're having engaging content, quality topics. Again, coming back to the quality of what you're giving them.
It's for me, the way I look at anything I do content wise is I go, all right, there's millions of people like me trying to create content. What do I need to do to separate myself and make what I'm doing just a little bit different than what this guy's doing or this guy's doing? And I'll look at it when I'm editing or watching my own stuff and critiquing myself, because I'll watch my videos and I've got a notebook of just notes from different videos on different days, and I'll sit there and I'll be like, all right, I'm a person watching. I'm not going to look at this as the content creator. I'm going to watch it as if I'm flipping through YouTube and this is a video that I clicked on. So you got to get to a point, like maybe I'm watching the video and I'm like, ooh, I took too long to get into the topic. If I was somebody that would have clicked on this video and they were talking for 2 minutes and they didn't get into the video, I probably would have clicked off at this point. So it's all about, it's really all about self-critiquing yourself and taking some accountability in the fact that you're not going to be perfect. And that you need to understand that it's okay to be criticized, be critical of yourself.
Yep.
Because, like you said, you ain't never going to have an end point. You're always going to want to improve. So if you get to a point where you just like, oh, I've done it, you're not where you want to be. You're never going to get where you want to be if you're just satisfied.
If you're satisfied, you've hit the ceiling for yourself.
Right, and then it's and like they say, whatever goes up must come down. So if you feel like you're up, you're gonna come down at that point.
Yep, exactly. You hit that glass ceiling, you hit that plateau, and then you see it all the time. You see the Twitter posts and the Discord messages, and I mean, no disrespect to anybody who's doing it, because I've done it. I'm sure we all have done it at some point. Man, I'm just not growing. I'm not getting any more followers. I'm not getting. Well, why?
Yeah, but I think it also depends on how much you put yourself out there.
But that's my point. What are you doing to improve the quality of what you're putting out?
And this is really one thing that I would really tell new streamers and streamers that are struggling to grow in it. It ain't going to be about what happens to you or what happens to your views or your videos. It's going to always be about how you respond to what happened to those videos and to those views. So if you respond with the positivity of, well, I'm just going to get better. I didn't do good here. I need to get better. It's all about your response. It's never about how well your last video did. If it sucked, your response should be positive, no matter what.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is, I think as content creators, you have to be willing to face the bullshit that's coming with it. Because you're right, you could put a video out there and you could think, well, damn, I did a great job. It's banging. I finally hit this one point that I was struggling with. And for you, it's a win, but you're always going to get that same person that comes behind you and is like, bitch, I could have done so much better. Like, you could have done this and you could have done that. And that should be positive for you. When somebody tells you you should have done this or it looks like shit.
Lady, I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use you as an example. You're notorious for it, right? And I'm gonna call you out here for it because we're having an honest conversation. You look at your streamers and you're like, shit, I didn't get the viewership I was hoping for. So you shit on yourself left and right. But there's never. I noticed the one thing that you never say is, well, let me go back and watch it so I can see, or maybe I could have been better. What could I do different?
I know exactly where the problems are. I get quiet. I get in my head.
But again, Joker said this, and this is the part you're missing. It's not about right? It's your mindset to it. Okay. You are so negative on yourself. You don't turn it into a positive way of saying, okay, I know I could have talked more here, and then the next. So you make a mental note. Okay, you're just all. man, I fucking suck. I'm just terrible. I don't even bother. Like, I'm not saying you literally say that, but that's basically, how it feels sometimes. Joker's point is, okay, I had 10 viewers, and I know I stopped talking about this point, and that's about the time I went from 10 viewers to 3 viewers. So I know what I need to do. So let's go. I'm ready for the next one. You're getting conversation points ready.
My conversation points are lead sucks, he's ugly, and let's go from there, chat.
Well, chat, for all of you out there, I'm just going to advertise or put this out there now. Ladies not getting laid for like a week now. So I'm withholding. I'm not putting out for a week now.
Well,
So,
let me know what happens when your balls are blue and I am no longer your friend.
Joker, I'm coming to stay with you for a week.
Come on down. I'm always free.
But I'm telling, but you are not wrong. I know where the flaws are, but the problem is I don't realize they're there until it's done, and I'm like, well, you fucked the bed on that one. Let's just roll over and start again.
But see, now you're saying it because we're talking about it. When it's not being talked about, when you have the time to just sit there for yourself, take the world out of the equation. What are you doing to have that positive mindset? And I'm phrasing this at everybody who's listening. What are
You know what my
doing?
positive mindset is if I go, when I'm done, I can go out back and beat the shit out of lead. There is my positive mindset.
But for the sake of this, like, I get that you're just trying to be funny, but that's my point, though, is that
No, you're right, though.
instead of having a constructive, positive conversation with yourself.
Yeah, and look, lady, straight up, it's not an easy thing to go back and watch your stream, especially whenever in your mind you're like, damn, that didn't go as well as I thought. Or you put a video out and you go back to watch and you're like, damn, that didn't go as well as I thought. Not an easy thing to do is to watch what you failed at. Mm-hmm. But what I will say is, in life and in content creation and in anything you do, you're never gonna win until you learn how to lose. So you'll lose.
I've been losing for years. We're good. I've learned how to lose.
That's what I'm talking about. So now it's time to be like, all right, it's time to win. It's time to win. Time to take the steps to win. And look, I'm telling you, there's times I watch stuff and I'm like, damn, that was not that good. Like, I'll watch my stuff and I'm like, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Everybody else is talking about how great it was, but I'm so hard on myself that I'm like, well, I could have did this different, that different, this different, that different. And in my mind, it's a failure, but failures for me just turn into like a fuel to the fire to where I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna kill it next time I do this.
See, and I think that's the problem, that I set myself up for my own failure because I am my own biggest critic. And if I get it in my head that it's not worth doing it, I just won't do it.
I gotcha.
100%. Like, I am my worst enemy.
Oh,
He
yeah.
could sit there all day long and look at me and be like, babe, you did great. This is where we're at. He makes this comment all the time, that he will make a tweet and be like, babe, we did great doing this. Lady and I did this, and I'm so proud of how far we have come. And the words out of my mouth are, I'm really proud of you, babe. Great job. I don't see any of me in it. All I see is
let me use
job.
this in a different way, to prove what Joker's saying here, right? So we did Botch's episode, right? We did his interview, and what was the issue that I was beating myself up over?
Oh, that there was the first few minutes where you couldn't hear Botch very well.
They couldn't hear either one of you. They could only hear me, right? For the first 60 seconds, you guys were so quiet. You had to get up there, you had to mash that headphone into your ear in order to hear it. Like, you can hear it, it's there. So what did I turn around and do? Yes, I beat myself up for a few minutes. I'm like, fuck, how could I make that stupid mistake? How could I not catch that? So you know what I turned around and did? I sat down at OBS. I made sure that I sat down in plenty of time to make sure that all my settings are right. But as a backup precaution, I now am recording it from OBS to make sure, because OBS will still capture the Discord call, whether the stream can hear it. Okay, because if it doesn't, at least then I have a way where I can pull the VOD down, whether it's from YouTube or I don't know if LiveSpace will do this, but Twitch can do this. I was researching, and Spotify can do this. I can upload that audio to it. I can upload that video to it. I have a backup for it. I made sure that I had at least. Go ahead, Joker.
I was gonna say, so, lady, I'm gonna straight up tell you. this podcast, if it was just Lee doing it, would still be a good podcast. Y'all complement each other so well
Mm-hmm.
that you make it even better because y'all play off each other so well. You complement each other so well. You're kind of polar opposites in a lot of the ways, so it kind of
Hmm.
connects. So don't ever get down on yourself thinking that it's just him because you make the podcast just as much as he does. It's just in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that is a mindset that I have to overcome and change. That is a me issue, not a lead issue.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is something I am 100% okay to admit, is that I have stepped back so much and taken that back seat and been okay with not being who I am, that when people see who I am, I just automatically assume they're going to hate it.
And that's a big fear that everybody has. They're afraid of if you're gonna go all in, right, to put that quality stream out. Okay, and I'm gonna use what you just said to hammer my point home even more. You cannot be afraid to let people see the real you. And I'm so glad
Hmm.
Joker's here and we're talking about this because it
Hmm.
just came to my mind. Joker, you just had this issue. I think not an issue, but you had a situation come up last night where you got to put out the real you. You put out an emotional bit of content that added that quality to it because now granted that might have been a rough time for you, but people got to
Hmm.
see the real you and it added to what like to the
Hmm.
point of what you're doing. You're there, you made a point, you made it clear your content is you want it to be more focused on talking to people and engaging with people on that level. Well, now people got you had something come up, whatever it was, whether it's just a bad mindset or a bad day, something. People got to see a different side of you. They got to see the real you, and you said that it was great. I saw the Twitter post. I saw you guys. You saw it, and I think you put a comment in Discord, um, and that added to the quality of what you did, of what you were doing last night.
So um, yesterday would have been my dad's 65th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he passed a few years ago unexpectedly, and me and him were like we were like buddies, best friends. I was extremely close with him. Um, and I was just in a bad mindset yesterday, and I coach football and I also teach, so I was in a mindset of I got to be strong for I'm a leader for 75 plus young men too, so I'm trying to maintain strong for them, talk about their issues. So all day I got this in the back of my head. On the way home, I stopped by my dad's grave, put flowers, talked to him. I had no time to just talk
Decompress.
about it or decompress. So I get on stream, not even thinking about decompressing. Um, and I just started talking about it, and it became extremely, extremely emotional
Mm-hmm.
time. Um, and I had so much support in there; it was crazy. Like people just kind words, and I can definitely feel people's arms wrapped around me yesterday. And one
Mm-hmm.
thing about my stream is I always wanted to be 100% authentic. I want everybody to see me in my rawest form. So it was really an amazing stream yesterday.
See, and that is a part of me that I hide from you guys. You guys will not see that raw portion of me. You guys get the excitement, the fun, and it's not that it's, um it's not that it's an act or a show. It's a fear for me to let people in because the wall is built so big.
Right. Well, yesterday came for it was a big surprise for a lot of people because I'm not a very emotional person.
Right.
Um, I'm joke around, talk, usually listen to other people's issues, give advice, jokingly give advice a lot of the time, but
Hmm.
joke around a lot. And that was the first time, probably other than Lucha, that some everybody had saw me in that form to where besides when I got boosted, but this was like really emotional. Like I was sucking my
Yeah.
bottom lip crying. I was just
Okay, it was I didn't get a chance to see it. I'll have to go back and watch it,
it
but I
was
can
it was
imagine.
it was like the first 30-35 minutes of the stream, and um it was just everybody. I think it caught some people by shock just how emotional I was and the
Hmm.
state I was in, and but I had so much support from people, not even just people in FK. Like I had a lot of people in the stream just kind of wrapping their arms around me and talking to me and telling me how much they care. And it was my probably my favorite moment as a streamer happened yesterday.
See, and that is the point that I am that Lead is trying to get me to, because we make great content together. And I don't know if you've ever heard him. He's always pushing me to do my own content by myself. Try this, do this. This will be fun. This will be a great experience. Stop hiding what you're good at. Showcase it. Have fun with it. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, oh, we're good. The well's there. We're nope.
And that's
I
okay.
will
It's
joke
like
and play with you till the end of the day.
you'll get there at your
But
point, right? And maybe you're
yeah,
never going to be one of those people, and that's where you part of having being a quality content creator is figuring out where you're going to be, right? You have the very first step you have to identify when you want to get past being a streamer to being a content creator is identifying yourself. What are you? What is your goal? Are you there to be with somebody? Are you going to do your thing? Like you have to start there, right? You can't just turn a stream on and just say, "My name's Tony, and I'm a streamer." All right.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can't.
no
You're
doubt,
not
no
gonna
doubt.
get anywhere. But
Well, exactly.
It,
Go ahead, Joker.
I was gonna say no doubt, except is what Misfits saying 100% because I feel like so many people have that connection with me now that when they saw me in that rawest form and they know the real me and they see this side of me, it was kind of like, all right, this is our brother. We need to pick him up, and
Hmm.
that's why it takes a while to bring that real you out. But when you do it, you're gonna be like, I'm so glad I did. Like I'm so glad that I just was myself.
Exactly, and more to your point too about your stuff is you were you've always been kind of like just a you said you were always kind of doing just the chatting stuff and everything, and it might turn into some gaming, but more often than not, it was really just a conversation and maybe watching some videos. But you set a point to identify what your content was going to be, who you are as a streamer, what your goals are, what your mindset is. Um, so, um, it when you set that and you set an expectation not only for yourself but for your viewers, um, it allows it to grow and allows people to come in and say, okay, I know what I'm coming in for, right? Because if I come in to your stream, Joker, and I'm thinking I'm looking for a gaming, and you just spend the whole time talking, but I don't know anything about you, or I know a little bit about you, but there's never really been an expectation set, or you haven't put out a Twitter post or talked with your community, I might get bored pretty quick.
Hmm.
But you set that expectation, you set that standard. So when I
mhm.
come to your stream now, Joker, I know what I'm coming for. You know, System made a point. He's been very clear about the kind of person he is. Dana's made that point. Everybody's kind of made a point of saying, "This is who I am. This is what you're coming for." Um, so it helps in that aspect. Like I see in chat, System's kind of shitting on himself a bit, and so is Zara. But I'm going to use
Dear
System.
God,
Well, no. I'm going
They
to use.
both they both better stop it.
Yeah,
I know. I want to kick both their asses. They're both phenomenal streamers.
but I enjoy everybody's content for different reasons, right? Unfortunately, Joker, I mean, I'm not even about to try to blow someone. I enjoy like when I can catch you. I'm coming for you because I just haven't been able to get there enough to really enjoy the content for what it is, right? I'm there for you
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's all
yeah.
I know, right? But if I go to System,
Catch him when he's jumping at those damn ghosts.
but when
Oh
I
yeah.
but if I'm going to use System as my example, right? I'm going to I'm gonna yeah, I love talking to System, but he and I talk off and on in Discord as well, and through Twitter posts and everything. Like, and sometimes I'm just not very chatty because I spend all day talking to people and the customers, and by the end of the day, like I'm struggling. Like unless I know I'm going live, right, and I have a purpose for going live, I'm going into I'm going into System Stream because I just want to watch him play. I love watching him play. I love
Hmm.
the concentration. I love the focus. I enjoy sitting back and watching him talk to people as they come in because I think he's got a great handle on how he does things. Right. I think Chat goes off, bam, he pauses the game, and he's engaging with chat. I love it. I love to see it. That's what I like. Dana is the same way. She might get very focused on what she's doing. It might take her a few minutes to see something, but when she sees it, she stops and she's engaging. I enjoy that. I enjoy what I love watching the concentration face. I think everybody's made a point of saying, "Oh, look, the concentration face, the focus face." I think some people have called it.
They're always talking about yours, which is priceless.
Yeah.
I don't think, have you ever seen Lead play Fortnite where he's caught in a fight and he's like it's a very interesting face.
Oh yeah, when y'all play games, oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I have a concentration face.
See, and that's something I'm actually getting ready to get back into is once a week playing a game on stream instead of just chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
The concentration phases are always awesome. Like if you ever, well, you can't see Lucha's concentration face because he's got a mask on, but if you ever
Can
like
imagine it without the mask.
Lead, when y'all do play games, lead is concentrated. And usually if I'm in your chat and y'all are playing games, my goal is to put as much reckless crap in the chat so I try to lose him off of his concentration.
You do it with me every time. It doesn't take much
Yes.
because I'm over here just dying. Like, what the fuck?
That's the goal. Like when I see people streaming, I'm all about fun, even if I'm just chatting. So like if I'm in your stream and I'm just chatting, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna do what I can to make you laugh or say some crazy stuff to make you take your eye off of the prize for a minute. It's just
That's when I die, is when y'all are fucking with me in chat.
and then when you get me and Lucha in chats together,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
Zaramux and you get us three. System, I've been in chat. Well, System's in like every chat on Live Space usually. So whenever I get on there, I'll be like, System's on there. Me and him, like we've been in chats together where I've talked with him and we've joked around, and
Mm-hmm.
it's finding the type of streamer you are is definitely something you do through trial and error, without a doubt. I can still be entertaining when I play games, but I just enjoy
You get
how
concentrated,
personal.
you lose it.
Yeah, I like being real personal when I'm streaming. Like like I told y'all before, when I stream, I ain't got no plan. I just stream. I put music on, and it's like you're shooting the shit with your friend on the phone, basically. You're just talking, and it snowballs. Like Dana and System was in my chat yesterday, and like the last 35 minutes of my chat, we were talking about marriage and sex. So it went like my streams will go complete 180s really quick because that's just my personality. You know, it's just all about finding your niche, basically.
Yeah, I've noticed that with System. Whenever he's around, somehow like you find yourself talking about sex all the time. Like that's just he brings out that need to want to. I'm just kidding. But
Well,
It's usually
System's hot.
Dana. It's usually Dana.
You know, I talked to System on the phone a couple of days ago, and it was really hard to control myself.
yeah, he's got that voice who just really wants you. It's just like.
Yeah, dude. I was like, System, come on, man. We gotta. You wanted to talk about something specific, man. We can't be having phone sex.
Yeah. But to your point though, like you made the point where you guys come in and you try to throw me off my game, but like for me, like it's not as hard as I try it to be is able to be engaging with the chat and everything. Like my brain gets so competitive on it, and I'm focused on the goal that I'm putting out there, right? That sometimes it's hard to tear me away from that. So I appreciate it, but that knows where. But that shows when you build the quality community, right? And that comes from networking, right? That you have people that want to come in and fuck with you like that. That is a quality. Sorry, you're building a quality community. You're building quality connections and everything, which is going to elevate your streams just past being a streamer, just past being a podcaster, right? I mean,
But think about it. Your chat also being a quality chat and having a quality conversation with your chat ties in over into the quality that you're putting out on other content.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a creator, because eventually your chat carries over into wherever you're going because they're supporting you and being there and lifting you up there too. So that chat also follows over. So it goes from not having the quality, not just the quality in your stream, then that quality filters into everything else. So your quality community is just as important as the quality of your videos.
Now
For sure.
I'm gonna put Joker on the spotlight again here for a minute. Now, Joker, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you like, I love the fact that you do just the just chatting stuff. Like I've watched a few of your VODs. I just listen in, just trying to keep up because of part of me feels guilty for missing so much of your stuff. But I'll be honest, if it's just 7 days a week, even if it's just for even if it's just for an hour a day of just talking about endless stuff, like I might have it playing, but my focus just isn't going to be there. That's why I think that you've got the right idea, and I know we've already said this before, but the quality that you put into the limited amount of streams that you do, I think is what is elevating you past doing 7 days, or hell, even we'll say 5 days of 8-hour days of just talking. I'm sure you could spend 8 hours just pulling up your favorite videos and reacting to them
Oh
and
yeah.
everything. But that's going to get stale after a little while, you know.
But it's also the same thing like you and I said, pulling back your content.
Yeah, scaling it to a certain amount. And again, this is
Mm-hmm.
where the quality takes precedence over the quantity. He's putting quality into the few days and the few hours that he is live, to where he's now doing more with YouTube, more with TikTok, and working on expanding that way, putting more time into his
Yeah, yeah.
community. That's, again, I'm gonna hammer that point home all day long. You know, Z's and Zara, they can, Zara, you can shit on yourself all day long, right? But at the end of the day, I see the quality that you put into this. It's the same thing. You have those conversations, you build those connections, and what works for somebody may not work for others, and what works for, you got to figure it out for yourself. What is going to allow you to grow to that point, you know? No, Zara, I'm not calling you out. I'm just making a point. Is that like
Yeah, we calling you out.
Lady and I were
No,
talking.
no, Zara. I was gonna say Zara. It's like one of those things. Like Zara is a strictly a gaming streamer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
streaming gaming 7 days a week is not the same as streaming just chatting 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, like I love my wife, but I don't even want to talk to her 7 days a week. You know what I mean? So it would be hard for me to sit in front of the camera every single day and do a just chatting stream.
Yep.
To where it'll be a lot easier for me to get in front of the camera and play a different video game 7 days a week. To where
Sure.
Zarmus, he streams a lot, but he streams something different every time he streams.
Exactly.
So it works for him because that's the type of streamer he is. So he's got to stop shitting on himself before I come up to Virginia and beat his ass up.
Now, to that point, though, now I would say that, and I know you don't mean this literally, streaming a different game 7 days a week, that could also be an issue where it could hurt you in the mental side of it, because keeping quality at our level, like, because I would say we're probably all the same. We're not Tim the Tatman, we're not Dr. Disrespect, XQC Ninja, we're not those people, right? They could probably turn on their stream 7 days a week and see 1,000+ viewers every single time, right? They're there.
They can put out shit quality and still see 1,000 viewers because of their names.
Exactly. That's my point. Whereas if we get on there and go 7 days a week, even if it is different games, we're not going to see the same people every single time, because people are either trying to network everywhere, they're doing their own streams, and that's just a fact that you got to wrap your mind around. You might only get one person in there, but it might be one day it might be me, next day it could be Lady, Wednesday it could be Joker, and Thursday it could be Lucha. You 10 to 1, you're not going to get the same people back every time. That's where putting the time behind the scenes comes huge, because you build those connections. But I also believe that quality is scaling back, and Lady and I just had this conversation as well about scaling back, because then it allows some time to go in between where people are like, oh, I haven't seen Zara in a few days, let me go say hi and see what he's doing, because I haven't seen him live in a little bit. You build that anticipation. If we use the analogy that your streams are like a TV show, think about it. New and popular TV shows. Well, since we haven't really talked about Lucha much or used him as let's use Lucha or System or any of our wrestling fans here. Monday Night Raw is on once a week. building, and it's always trying to build off of what happened on the previous episode, or building to what's coming out. Like WrestleMania is coming up here in a few weeks. Everything is building to that point and building that anticipation to see that high profile show, you know. So having sometimes less being more to build that quality and put the time into building a story or to building a connection, you know, that's where I believe that quality comes into play as well. Now, if you can do that 5 days a week and that works for you, awesome. You know, anything that we talk about here, it's all generalized. This isn't about, no way can you say this as a whole, because some people, there are some people who've got the money, they can go and travel every single day and experience things on a daily basis. You know, one day they might be in Virginia, next minute they might be in Louisiana, they could be in California the next day. Every day could be a new experience, and they could be streaming that stuff, you know?
See, we would be if we could.
Yeah, 100%.
Same.
So,
Same.
again, it all just comes down to making sure that what you're doing, you're putting the utmost quality into it. And again, one of the things, like, and I'm gonna harp on myself here. One of the things that I've been working on is trying to come up with a background for this screen, for those of you who are watching it live, to where you're not just seeing 3 boxes with cameras, or in this case, Joker's tiny ass logo in the middle of it. Something eye-catching that's just a little more pleasing. Even, you know, we're trying to do we've changed our brand to the whole Misfit Island thing, right? Like, you know, be a much more relaxing, a much more pleasurable environment. Throwing some palm trees in the back, you know, just something that brings a little bit of color into it, you know. That's why one of the reasons why we want to do the interviews with people is because we want to make it fresh. And so if we bring somebody new on every single time, or if we bring, like, Sunday we have the ladies podcast, you know, bringing in a group of ladies to talk about the female struggle of being a content creator, being a streamer, you know, because, you know, in this space, you know, you see a lot of toxicity from men and women towards women in this space. You know, I was on Twitter today, and somebody, there's a female who disagreed or didn't, or, you know, she just made a very civilized point, but it was a very, like, blunt point on somebody's Twitter post, and his response was, "Shut the fuck up and get back in the kitchen and go make me a sandwich." I was like, what the fuck? And I just kind of scrolled past it, you know. But that's my, you know, that keeps the content fresh, because if we just come on here and if it's every day, it's here, we're going to talk to Joker, we're going to get Joker's opinions on this. As much as people love you, Joker, I don't think everybody's coming back every single time for it, or they're not going to stick around for the whole
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I mean, as much as I love you, I'd get tired of you too, because I'd get tired of Lead. So, you know, Lead gets tired of me. We all get.
Hey, look,
there's only so much we can do.
I'll be cool with making a little appearance once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'm good with that.
And that's why we open the doors to everybody. Just all you got to do is message us in some way, shape, or form. Say, hey, I want to do an interview. Whether you don't have to jump in Discord, find me on Twitter, find Lady on Twitter, be here for the stream, you know, comment in live space, you know, whatever. Hell, shoot a smoke signal up in the air.
Yes.
We want the content to be fresh, and that's why we open the doors to people who want to come in and join the conversation. You know, that's why we try to give a few days notice to what the topic is going to be. Come in and make it fresh, because then the quality is still there. You know, you have an outside opinion. You know, we can promote a guest appearance by this person to build the anticipation. You know, because it brings more eyes. You know, maybe I'm just shitting on myself here, but I wonder if half the people would be here if it wasn't for the fact that we had Zara come in, we had you come in, Joker and Lucha. How many people would honestly be here? You guys bring that unique aspect, that quality aspect to it, you know. Granted, Lady and I still be here doing this, but we might just be talking to ourselves half the time, you know.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, Lord.
No. But seriously, if it wasn't,
I'm telling you, shut the fuck up.
No. You're missing the point. I don't know why you're telling me to shut the fuck up. Because honestly, if it's just you and me talking, and we don't bring in that guest appearance, where's the quality behind it? If we bring somebody's outside opinion into it, because you and I are almost always on the same page, and we always talk about this in some way, shape, or form, whether it's once a month, at some point our streams end up talking about this stuff, whether it's because of a Twitter post or something in Discord. We always end up talking about it. So people there's a good chance a lot of people have heard this before. So what is drawing them in, right? If I go on and play Fortnite every time, right, people eventually are going to get tired of Fortnite. They're going to want to see something new, right? it's always about what can I add to make the quality better. Maybe it's a stream alert. Maybe it's adding an extra, the sound alerts on Twitch, right? Adding some new sound alerts, where people can have fun with it. Maybe it's cosplay, right? Getting on there once a quarter and doing a special cosplay, setting up a giveaway. Just people are going to come for that. That's quality as long as your intentions are pure behind it, and you're not just, oh, here, let me buy my stuff, but as a thank you to your community. That's where I think giveaways are good. Thank you to you guys for being here. Thank you for doing this. There's always something behind it where you can put quality into it and thought into it, where people, like Joker said, see that real raw emotion, that gratitude, that appreciation for it, or just generally want people to come in and have a good time and have fun. Joker puts on music to promote a more relaxing environment. He shares his favorite YouTube videos for his reaction stuff, or TikToks, whatever it is that he's sharing. Yesterday it was talking about, it ended up talking about the struggles that he was going through personally, whether it was emotionally or mentally, however you want to classify it. It was something different. And I'm not to make light of what you went through, Joker, so I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
But you have to keep doing something to add to it. So let's use a podcast, because on YouTube we have Talk Unfiltered Podcast who's lurking and listening. So I think he can relate to this. As a podcaster, you can't talk about the same exact topic every time. Sure, you might have a general view of something, but you have to bring specific subtopics into it to continue to grow. System and Zara, you guys bring different games to it. Things that everybody at one point or another may have played, or they may not have seen it, right? I have not seen half the games that I've seen System put on, and I now want to find a way to buy a PlayStation so I can go play some of these fucking games that I've seen y'all play, and it pisses me off that I can't do it because I can't afford it. I don't have the money to buy a PlayStation. Hell, last night, who was it that was? It was Zulish was playing Helldivers, and yes, I've seen plenty of people play Helldivers, but listening to Zulish and Lucha for a little bit playing Helldivers really had me itching to go to say, lady, I need to figure out where I can get $40 so that way I can download Helldivers. I've watched Ram play it, and I've watched a few other people play it, and they do great with it. But it was just the way they engaged with each other really stood out to me and really had me itching for it. Everybody brings their own unique aspect into it, and that's what puts the quality behind it. That's why we talk about.
That's why he's always harping at me to show off my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't. It's
So,
what
guys,
we.
Go ahead, Joker.
I wanted to tell you guys, I just pulled up to the house. I got to get in the house, but I really appreciate you guys for having
we
me.
appreciate you.
Even if I could only hop on for a little bit, I wanted to make sure I was able to still talk to y'all a little bit.
No, I appreciate it.
Y'all doing a great job. Just keep doing what y'all doing, man. You always got my support. Anytime y'all want me to hop on, just message me and I'm down.
Yes, sir.
We will. We appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a great night.
You too, Joker.
Thank you.
So for those of you who don't know, that was Just Joker, right? You can find him here in Live Space. Look him up as Just Joker. Find him on Twitter. Go show him some love and support. Hear his thoughts on things as well. And I'm reading the chat, like, some of these games are also on other platforms, but at the same time, think about it. If I didn't see System play this, or I didn't see Zara play this, right, I wouldn't know about it, right? I wouldn't... Watching System and watching Zara, watching Dana, it's because of Dana that I got interested in League and was dabbling in League for a little bit. I never thought I'd be turning League of Legends on again after I tried it a little bit ago. I wouldn't, if it wasn't for Dana, I wouldn't have done it. Lady, did you enjoy League?
I enjoyed it. There's a lot to learn, and it wasn't terrible, but
if it wasn't
I wouldn't have tried if it wasn't for Dana. Yeah,
exactly.
You're right.
And it was honestly, and it wasn't even so much about the game. It was just watching how focused she was, what she brought to the table. So, guys, this is what I'm talking about. You bring the quality to the table. You are what makes it. And I've said this before. You are what makes it unique. Your interactions and the way that you make your streams. That's the quality behind it. And again, guys, think about.
And see, Dana brings up a valid point. It was because we were playing together. It was the time we were spending with people that we wanted to play with.
And sometimes that's what you need to do to elevate your streams and bring the quality in. Have a community. That's an easy way to bring quality and to bring your name into it. Open up your streams to your community. Let them game with you. Let them enjoy it with you. Have those laughs and those interactions directly with it. So, and it's like we talked about, right? If you're thinking that you're going to find something new, right, that nobody's done before, you're not, okay? Everybody can sit here. Everybody turns their games on, right? If you're a gamer streamer, you're competing against a huge saturated market, okay? If you're a cosplayer, everybody and their mothers does cosplay. Okay, I shouldn't say that. A large majority of people, or a large number of people do cosplay. Podcasters, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Millions.
Yeah, probably. Right? How many people get on and laugh and talk about sex? I mean, shit, just in this stream alone, just in this chat alone, I can count 5 or 6 people here talk about sexual stuff on a daily basis.
My favorite podcast, A Girl's Gotta Eat.
Yep.
That is one of my favorite, and it's about nothing but sex.
But what else is there? Just chatting streams, crafting streams. There isn't something there isn't that specific thing, but so you have to tailor that around you to promote the best, to put out the best quality content, right? It's all how you filter it into it, and then network, advertise it, grow it, nurture it. And again, if y'all are just on here just to stream to your community and just to talk to them, right? You're not trying to build a brand, you're not trying to get sponsored and make money off of it. The money is just a side piece deal that's great to have. Awesome, go for it. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. This is for the people that want to take it to the next level and elevate it, right? That's what I'm looking at. The people that you see on Twitter bitching about the kick and promoting out there that way. A lot of these people, they think that they can just throw some subs out there and buy their follows and buy their views because they think that it's going to get them some money, right? But they're
I saw it. Where did I see it? I saw it on Twitter yesterday. I just got my tax return. Who wants a $50 donation or 50 subs?
And what's the stipulation behind it? Every one of those posts, what's the stipulation behind it?
Follow me.
Got to be following this or got to be following that. You're buying, they're buying engagement, right?
Yeah.
But then you go to their streams, and what do they have that's different than yours, guys? For all you listening, what is different from what you're doing? Nothing.
Nothing. They're using their money to buy their views. It's as bad as bot. It's as bad as bot people who do the bot views.
View botting, yeah. You're skimming your numbers. Now, there are plenty of people out there who are putting in the work and are growing on their own. I'm not saying everybody buys views. I'm not saying that everybody's view botting. I'm just saying the people that are garnering respect are the people that are bringing that energy into it. If that's their streams, if that's what their content's about, that are engaging with it. A great streamer that I love to watch her TikToks because I can never seem to catch her live. A lot of y'all might know her, Sweet Tails. Phenomenal lady. Quality content. She plays games. She does it all. She does so much, right? One of the things that I love about her streams is the sound alerts, and that's why I threw it out there. Is she's got dicks and fart sounds and everything, and sure, it might seem childish, but imagine it. But think about it. If your chat plays it at the right time, right, and could be it sets you might unintentionally set up your chat to where they can play, somebody, lady could be sitting there saying I love, and then the sound alert dicks goes off, and she was going to say I love cookies, but dicks comes out, and I guarantee you she's going to be laughing and snorting and just fucking dying in her chair because now she's just unintentionally just said I love dicks to the whole world. And
I do love dick. Your dick.
But you get my point though.
No, I know. I'm just being...
But that's the kind of engagement that you should be wanting, where people want to make you laugh and just have a good time and everything. In Joker's case, people come in and can be there to support him, or Joker's there to have a conversation and give advice. Where Dana's in there just can have her fun with her games, and people just come in and talk to her and hang out and enjoy what she's doing. Or in System's case, or in Zara's case, where they have those sultry voices that just make you pitch a tent as soon as you hear their voices.
Oh my God.
I love listening to last night listening to Z's and Sarah their interaction with each other, just the way they just held a conversation about everything. It wasn't anything specific, or with Z's, um, with Z's though, her excitement and the way that her and Zoe were promoting this the hair coloring, something very simple, you know, but the excitement behind it. That's what you're putting out there. Get people excited because you're having fun or you're serious into the topic at hand, right? If your thing is politics, right, which is not everybody's cup of tea, right, and you just want to get on here and talk about politics, be excited for it, be passionate. If you're just like, yeah, Biden went on there and talked about this, and Trump did this, and Republicans that, like, I'm not gonna sit there and watch it, but I honestly listen to political podcasts or political newscasts that are, you hear the passion behind it because they believe it, or at least whoever's funding their shit wants them to believe it, so they're putting it on for the money. I don't give a crap. The passion behind it and the energy in it is what draws me in. And I guarantee you, a lot of you, as much as you might not say this publicly, the energy and the passion is what's going to draw you into anybody's stream, is a majority of people's streams. Yeah, they might have good gameplay that keeps you in for a short amount of time or such amount of time, but it's their passion and their energy that keeps you there for a little bit longer. That allows you the time to really start to build that connection and build that conversation to where you want to come back. What's her name's babe? It's Kira and Forever Esso, right? Their podcast, right?
Yes.
I enjoy it. I don't have to sit there and say a damn word. I listened to it last night for the one that they did. Just listening to their cold cases and their murder stories that they do. If you guys haven't checked it out, find them on Livespace and Kick. As much as I don't want to promote Kick out there because I don't believe in it, look them up. I guarantee their podcast stuff. Love it as well. Yeah, Zara, and for those of you listening, Zara said that's something he needs to work on is showing excitement. You gotta have energy into it. Like, you can have a conversation all day long, but what's going to bring new people in is passion and excitement for what you're doing and love of your craft. That's why I'm harping on, is quality. Can you put quality into a lot of streams? A lot of consistent streams. Like, I was streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or no, what was it? Oh, sorry, it was Wednesday through Sunday, right? And I was losing people. I wasn't bringing people back. I was excited for it, but at a certain by Friday and Saturday, I was doing the same thing, playing the same games, and talking about the same stuff, making the same jokes. People hear that stuff, and that's where you have to keep it fresh. That's why.
Let's be real. If you stick to what you were doing 7 days a week back then, you'd never be where you are right now.
No, God no. You have to adapt and evolve and adjust your content for what your goals are.
And that's the hard thing, is that people don't want to change, adapt, grow, and overcome those things. It's easier to say, like I do, and we use it as a prime example. Yep, sure, I know what the issue is. Yep, sure, I know how to fix it. But yep, sure, I'm going to continue to do the same crazy thing and be annoyed when it doesn't go the way I want it to. You are your own worst enemy. All you can do is help yourself. And if you can't help yourself and grow, then you'll never go anywhere.
And see, like, we'll use Dana and System, for example, as an example, right? This is where I think Dana has a leg up on System at times. System is a very nonchalant, very laid-back person. Works for him because people enjoy having that kind of connection for him where they can come in and talk and bullshit and just have a conversation, right? Whereas Dana can do that. But you get System, and I love you, and I'm not knocking on you for this, man, because I enjoy what you do the way that you do it. But I think in this case, I think Dana has a leg up on you because I think Dana just brings a little bit more passion. You can hear it a little bit better under her, or behind her voice, behind what she's doing. When she's doing her thing, she's more animated into it. Now, an element that I think that helps you, System, is Dana coming in and talking shit, because then you get some of that excitement out of you, that passion out of you, that emotion, that raw emotion, because you guys, that's just your dynamic, and people get to see a more real side of you, or a more energetic, side behind you. So I think that's where she boosts you up.
See, and that's the hard part because I have the energy. I just know that if the energy went full speed the way that I like it to be, Lead would be so annoyed in 30 minutes. He'd be like, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
No, no. That's what I'm saying is that you need to step it up. And I'm not trying to turn this into a where we just start telling everybody what they need to do because my opinion doesn't mean shit. Okay, I am
I mean,
nobody.
shit to me.
Well, no. But in the grand scheme of things, right? Because just because I see it a certain way doesn't mean you see it a certain way. You know, Dana might love your content, and I might have my constructive criticisms to it. Okay, I would love for you to elevate your energy and elevate your excitement and your shit talking. You know,
Part of the problem is when I shit talk you in a circle, and then you make fun of me for it. So then I second guess that I shit talked you, and that you thought it was funny because you talked to me in a circle about it, and then I don't want to shit talk you anymore.
But they do
because
that
it
on
took me too long
purpose.
to get to the shit talk.
But I do that on purpose to keep you going and to keep to pushing you to let more of yourself out. You and I shit talk each other off stream and on stream. It never ends and it doesn't change, right?
No, it doesn't.
You only second guess yourself and get in your head when you're sitting in front of a crowd and when your camera's on. If people saw what you are off camera, right? If you brought the real you or more of you, opened up more to the world, people would see that side of you and be like, damn, she's actually really fun. Hell yeah, this woman can run. She can throw punches like the rest of them.
Y'all, if you could see the shit we do around this house, oh my god.
I'm just saying, Zara, when I say that I'm not shit, I'm like, I'm not a professional. I don't have a degree in advice. I don't have, all the bells and whistles behind me. I'm just me. Right, and I love that everybody is sitting here saying that, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm just preaching because my word is gospel. No, my word is not gospel. Okay,
He's just telling you his shit stinks like everybody else's. He's just giving you his opinion and his asshole, and he's hoping that you like it and suck it up to it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just me. Sorry, that's a conversation we can have.
Zar. Wow.
You're gonna have to talk to System on that one, Zara, because he's got first dibs on it. Okay, he's already fighting Lady for his share. Okay. For those of you who are wondering, as Zara said, my life is in your hands, my body can be too. No, guys, honestly, the point behind this is just what this podcast is supposed to be. Is we do the interviews, right? We do the interviews because we want you to hear other people's opinions, other people's takes on things that they've been through and they enjoy it. But at the end, also, I'll be honest, I want to get my point out there too. I want y'all to hear it, but that's why we want to bring in guest hosts. I was like, Zara, I would love for you. If we do another episode where we do quality versus quantity, I want to hear Zara's take on it. I want Zara to put his 2 cents in. I want everybody to get out there because at the end of the day, it's gonna help everybody. The goal behind this isn't for me to come on and talk for 2 hours about my thoughts on it. My goal is to come in here and say my goal is to come in here and say, hey guys, here's what I see, and what do y'all think? How can we expand on this? And maybe there's a point that I'm missing by it because you might help me. I hope I put this out here on Spotify, and a comment that comes back is, I love the podcast, but here's what you could do differently. I see Dana's jumping in here. She's probably going to tell me, here, Lead, you suck, and this is what you could do better.
No, she's going to tell you right now, you a hairy motherfucker.
So, guys, for those of you who don't know Dana is a phenomenal streamer. She streams whatever the hell she feels like. She's very outspoken, and she does not give a shit if you like the fact that she's very outspoken. She's going to put her thoughts out there, and if you like it, great. If not, there's the door. And if you're watching it live, there she is. So Dana, welcome.
Hi, sunshine.
I'm in my nightgown. I'm ready for bed. Don't judge me.
Hey, do your thing.
Hey, you do you, boo. No, honestly, I thinking about it though. Like, what is your take on all of this?
So the topic at hand. So the topic that this started with, right, and it's kind of evolving as it's gone, is quality versus quantity. And what I mean by that is it better to limit the amount of live time that you have right? To focus on the quality that you put into the live time? Or is it more beneficial for somebody, and this is for people who are not just streaming as a hobby, right? But they're looking to take it to a point where they're building a brand. They're looking at potential sponsorships or partnerships. Esports teams that like to get picked up by an esport team, they're taking it as high as they can go as a career in content creation as a whole, right? So I see people doing this 6-7 days a week, five 6-7 days a week, and Zara, no, I'm not knocking you before you throw that comment out there again, right? I'm putting it high quality or high quantity, or it could be TikToks, posting 20 TikToks a day, or 100 YouTube shorts a day, or is it better to scale it back to where the quality of your stream, maybe it's 2 hours, like what we were talking about with Joker, where he does 2 hours of talking with his community and doing reaction videos, getting that engagement in a short amount of time, but then he's only doing 3 days a week. And then he's doing just a couple of YouTube shorts and a couple of TikToks to advertise that he's live doing this. What would your take on that be?
So I'll tell you what, I don't really have an opinion, and I'll tell you why. Yes, I would love for streaming to be a job for me. I would love to be able to pay my bills where I don't have to work and I can just devote solely to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm not one that would ever do the whole TikTok and YouTube and the 75 different social medias, and like that is 100% not me.
Mm-hmm.
I would stream, and the people that was there, cool. Those that weren't, catch you next time. So I really don't have an opinion because I would never be the one that is that hardcore about it. It's kind of, I'm very much of what you see is what you get. As far as quantity versus quality, I would rather have less streams with more quality.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, I don't care, because as long as I'm having fun,
right,
and the people in chat are having fun, it doesn't really matter to me.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though. Is like
But that's because I have a whole different mentality from the rest of you folk.
Exactly, but that's my point though. Is like if you're, let's say system though, right? If your system, right? Because he's talked about he would love to see it get to that point. He's very realistic about his expectations and everything, right? Do you think that it would benefit him more to be live 6 or 7 days a week, playing a different game every single time, or do you think that it would be better to put more time into the few days a week, putting the quality to his stream to where he's putting a good gameplay out, but then also doing something, whether it's just focusing on TikTok. Let's just say the outside content just on one area, right? He's doing his networking like he does, great, love it, 100% agree with it and support it. But just TikTok and like focusing on advertising to get it to where people do come into that to see him live.
So let's assume that family and time was not an issue.
Right.
That's
in a perfect world.
Why it is only, in a perfect world, I still think he would do better doing the less.
Exactly.
And honestly, the people who are like a different game every night, while I don't necessarily agree with the same game over and over and over again, excuse me, hiccup. I feel like when I start a story game, I'm gonna finish a story game before I go to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna get into that.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna want to see it finished. They're going to want to see the progression of the game. You can't just like toy with their emotions and be like, all right, we started the story game yesterday, I know you guys liked it, and then we're gonna go play this other game, some first-person shooter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're already invested in that other game. Don't do that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I see some people that ask a poll, what do you want to see played today? Have people vote in the poll. I'll tell you what we're playing today, whatever the fuck I want to play. I'm doing no fucking poll.
Right.
To hell with all of y'all.
And I agree with that 100%. Your stream should be about you and people coming to see what you're doing, because I don't want to play what people want me to see, because I'm less likely to enjoy it.
The thing is, I grew on Twitch from Fortnite. Once I stopped streaming Fortnite, my growth stopped. But I did not want to be a Fortnite streamer anymore. I got sick of Fortnite. So
believe that
it's
there is. I'm with you. Like, I think it should be whatever you're feeling at the moment. But I do agree that if you start a story game, play it all the way through, because you're getting an expectation out there for them.
Or at the very least,
you don't want to jump around and then they don't remember what happened, or this person
Yeah.
that comes in your stream today but can't ever come on this other day. They didn't get to see part of it, so now that they could come and see that game and see you play part of it or whatever, you decided to play something different.
Yeah, and I think you're fucking with their emotions a little
Right.
bit. So, but I mean, I'm one of those. I think Lead and I always just kind of play whatever sounds good at the moment. Like, we may say, yeah, we're going to play Fortnite, and then we could get into Fortnite, play 3 or 4 games, and be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to go try something else. It could be Valorant. We could be in Valorant, and it could be fucking brutal, and he'd be like, nope, we're out of here. Let's go try something else.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Sometimes
whatever
I
works at the
will bounce
moment.
through games on stream, especially like my Children of Morta that I play is a story game to an extent, but it's also just a lot of fucking grinding to level them up and get them ready for the next area. So
Right.
that gets me. Like, I'll play it offline, off stream, to do some of the leveling, right? Because that's just boring to watch. The same levels over and over, the same dungeons over and over and over again. People who like enjoy watching people grind to level cannot be trusted, because that is the most boring shit. Okay. I've seen this dungeon 75 times prior. Can we do something else at this point? So I don't want to. Granted, that does help, because when I was playing Children of Morta and I was leveling them up, I did a few runs just to level some of them up. I was able to easily pause it and converse with chat when people came in and said something. Because
Okay.
I'm in the middle of a fucking grind dungeon. Who the fuck cares? Pause that shit, you know? But the risks kind of outweigh the benefits as far as, like, monotony to conversationalism. Or versus the two. So, yeah, that's my take. I don't even know where the fuck I started with that. I kind of rambled, and now I don't know where the fuck dude, it is.
Well, no,
I'm
you're
so
good.
stressed out for tomorrow.
You're going to be fine.
So
I
Zara,
don't have to get on the stand, so that's fine. But I'm just stressed that
Don't
I
stress.
want to win the case. But
yeah. Zara puts in there though, like, to kind of counterbalance your point, Dana. The argument that people are there for the streamer and that the game, and not the game, so the grind doesn't matter to some. So, absolutely correct.
granted,
That is
but
100%.
how much, in all actuality, unless you know a person very well or personally, and you're like talking about your day and stuff, what at least I have found that a lot of my conversation, a lot of the kickoffs of conversation, a lot of the humor is found when something ridiculous happens in the game I'm playing. If I'm just grinding it out and it's boring, where's that conversation coming from? Like, we as the streamer we can't rely on the viewers to create the conversation. We have to create the conversation.
Yep.
So I feel like it depends on the game you're playing, but ultimately you still got to be watching something that's decently amusing, fun, interesting, something.
Well, and to his point, it kind of ties in with what you're saying. They're there for the streamer. Like, for example, I don't want to watch somebody play Disney Dreamlight. I came to your stream that night that you were doing Disney.
Why would you not want to watch that?
I'd rather be playing it.
Thank you.
I'd rather be playing it myself. That's why I want to, like.
Get the fuck on. Let's go.
Well, but what you did when you did it, you kept me watching you. Right? I was there for you. I'll be honest, when you said Disney, I wasn't there to watch you play. I was there to support you. But you kept me entertained because listening to you shit talking Goofy because he was following you around when I came in.
That little bastard.
That
Not
kept
leave me alone.
That kept me hooked. Your reactions to it. So to Zara's point is it kind of balances what you were saying. You did it. You kept me entertained. You brought that quality.
Created the entertainment for
Exactly.
what I'm playing. If I'm grinding the fuck out of a dungeon, the same dungeon over and over again on the same character, where is that? Where's the oomph of the content coming from?
Exactly.
You're relying on completely just nominal small talk at that point.
Now to counter,
See,
now to counter,
he
hold
gets
on, hold on. To counterbalance what both of y'all are saying, though, the initial topic at hand, though, this is where I'll argue against Zara's point: is it quality versus quantity? If I don't know you, Dana, I never would have turned on Disney Dreamlight. I knew you because the quality that we put into. Because remember, the point is for those building a brand, building themselves up to a certain point. I met you because I turned my stream on because I'm looking for a goal here on Live Space, right? Because System came into my stream, then you came to my stream. That's how I met you. It was networking, and that building a quality content involves networking to get people to come in, right? And that there's quality behind what you're doing to get to that endpoint, and that's how that
Quality
comes
is
around.
not just limited to the stream.
Exactly.
no.
There's so much quality work that you have to put in behind the scenes. That's why I fully think that quality content creators cannot go live on 6-7 days a week for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours. Those are the people that I'm contradicting, not the people that are doing 5 hours a day for 3 or 4 hours a night because they work 9 to 5 jobs, right? You get
But
your
see,
time. Go ahead.
but even sometimes being a 9 to 5er and working 9 to 5 and still coming home and putting in 4 or 5 days of full content plus networking and building your offline content and all of that, there does hit a point where you hit that wall even still there.
Not
I think
100%
there
true.
has
No, not 100% true because when you're talking about quality that you put into it, you can talk about your day. You can add more to it to get people engaged to it. When we talk about the concentration phase, that's great and all, and people can make jokes about it all we want about how it's it's cute or it's this or it's that.
Only System says it's cute because he thinks me sticking my tongue out's adorable. Because he's ridiculous.
My point though is, I had this mental image of System doing it now, so.
Lead is now fantasizing about you sticking out your tongue. I think he wants you to diddle his penis.
If you have a unique experience during the day, whether it's if you're working in retail and you have a batshit crazy customer, or in Lady's case, you're getting hit on over the phone because you have a sexy voice, or if you're in the military and you're coming home from your base at the end of the day and talking about, oh, we did this drill or this shooting practice, you can stream you can have your 9 to 5 job, come home and stream, because as long as you're putting that quality into what's going with it, like Dana said, adding that extra oomph to it, you have to do that. That's how you boost the quality of your stream. Do that all you want, but I guarantee it's like we talked about at the beginning, right? You can't do 7 days a week, 8 to 12 hours a day, thinking that that's going to be your make or break, because you're not talking about the same. It doesn't matter. Lady, I love you. You're not talking about Disney 12 hours straight. You can't even do it. No, she can't. She's tried. She can't. After a few hours, she might go 2 hours. I'll give her that. But after that, she's trailing off or she's repeating herself, and then people are going to get bored. So
he's right.
Just chatting. Well, you're very interesting, or you look very interesting. Yeah, there's something there. Again, it's always that initial what's going to grab it, but what substance are you bringing to it to boost the quality? That's how, and that's why our Joker brought in the great point. Look back at your stuff. What can you do to build off of it? What can you do to bring fresh quality?
Never, ever watched a VOD. I will watch clips that people used to clip on Twitch. I have never gone back and watched a VOD. I care not.
But again, what is your goal behind doing your streaming?
Like I said, I'd like for it to be a full-time job, but I'm not one of those like hardcore. Like, I just want to have fun in games.
Exactly.
That's the difference. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
And I do want to have a brand. I want to have people out there wearing my little "Welcome to the Dinosaurs" or "Welcome to Daytopia, Proud Dinosaur." I want people to be having my shit, but.
But if we're gonna be realistic, though, and I'm not knocking you or trying to like tell you what to do.
I take offense.
Well, you're more than welcome to. I'll have System beat the shit out of you later.
We know how that.
Yeah, and System's gonna be in the hospital later. So.
Yes.
But honestly, if I'm gonna look at it, and it's like Lady picking her name and everything, like when she, what's gonna elevate you past, like you have to be doing more beyond that, and honestly, like because if you're not doing that stuff behind the scenes and everything, or doing something that brings it in, it's like we use an audio TV show. What is advertising your stuff? What is getting people in the door? Is it just having a conversation with you? That's great. That's one way to do it. Yeah, you don't have to do TikToks or YouTube Shorts. I mean, but maybe you are like System who can do 30 streams of just having 30 different conversations. And I'm gonna reiterate this point: that motherfucker's got to be on speed or something to be able to keep up with that much shit. Okay, so whatever you're feeding him, Dana, keep doing it because it seems to be working. So whatever you're dosing him with, do it. But I can't do it. I have to look at outside projects. Lady has to look at outside projects in order to boost it. Zara has to look at outside connections. Not everybody can do it. That's a very rare talent to have 30 conversations, 30 networkings. And I know he's not literally doing 30 conversations, but
Did he like me? Fuck, I don't know.
more power to him.
Right.
I could see him in your camera. He's
I
playing.
don't know how
He's
he
playing
does
Mortal
it.
Kombat and listening to a podcast at the same time. I couldn't do it. I'd have
And he's
paused
not
it.
even really listening to the podcast because the Mortal Kombat noise on the TV in his headset's louder than us. But yeah, okay. But he says he's hearing what you're talking.
Networking.
It is very hard.
Networking's rough. It's brutal.
It's no different than putting yourself out there on stream because you have to be able to open up and be honest with people.
But it is because you have to fight people's preconceived notions. You have to for networking, like someone coming to you to network, are they just trying to use me? Are they sincere? Like you guys, everybody's been burned at least once or twice.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then you start getting.
You're absolutely right. Or on the flip side, I'm afraid to go and talk to people. I get terrified going into a stream. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, and I've made so many mistakes in the streaming community. I feel like I've burned so many bridges that I'm afraid that people are gonna know something about me and have a preconceived notion about me. They're gonna see my name, and so I get terrified. I'm worried that people are gonna judge me on past mistakes. Granted, yeah, that might have been a year ago or 2 years ago, but that shit sticks with you for a while, and sometimes it doesn't ever go away, depending on who it is. Shit, I'll be honest. If we're going to be candid here, Dana, half the time I worry that you and System are going to just up and dip one day because you're going to be like, nah, I've heard too much bad shit about y'all. I'm out.
Oh my god, whatever.
No, seriously.
I already
He's
know
not
Y'all-
wrong.
y'all paranoid about the conversation we had the other night.
Well, no.
You're still talking to us.
But we always talk about how Lady's in her head, right? I just wanted to be candid and take it off of her because I think we went through part of this episode
I think
with
we all are in our heads at some point,
exactly.
No,
whether we
I
want to
think-
admit it or not.
I think the difference that Lead is trying to make here is that Lead always looks very he always looks very confident, and when a lot of
That
people
air
see
boy.
him, a lot of people look at him and think that he is very comfortable in his skin and who he is. And it is very hard for him to go into a stream because what happens if you walk into the wrong stream and that person goes, "Oh, you used to be so and so." And then it's, well, where is so and so, or who is, like there's all this shit that can fly back into it, and then you find yourself going, well, fuck, shouldn't have networked here, because unfortunately as streamers, what do we do as time goes by? Sometimes we rebrand, sometimes we completely change things, sometimes
Yeah.
we just change a name here and there or a logo or something, and you don't realize whose stream you may be walking into that you knew from a past life. And I get it. Like, he is candidly putting himself out there to say, hey, yeah, I overthink this because my past is going to haunt me.
Mhm.
Well, that's fair. I mean, as extroverted as I seem to be on stream and here now, that's really not me in real life at all. Like
And
I
I've
guess
seen
it is if I open up enough, like if I get to know you well enough, I
It's-
will open up like
it's
that.
not initially you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You
fair.
you have to be. You're one of those people. You'll go to a party, but you're not running through the door. You're barely through. Man, I'm
a
here.
wallflower at a party.
Exactly.
See,
But
I'm the
now,
wallflower.
now that is the complete opposite. When I walk into a party, my answer is, fuck you, I'm here. I want you to know I'm here.
which is funny because at the same time, she's in the back of her head, yeah, this bitch is talking shit about me. I'm gonna have to fight
Oh,
her
I
ass.
know she is.
She's gonna be like, I'm gonna meet her out back in the parking lot behind the gym, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of her later for it. So,
But I'm also the type who never had the problem. I never had the problem to look at somebody and say, "You want to say that? Say it right here, because I'm gonna finish it." Never had that problem.
here's another thing too. And I've seen, and Jake's in chat making a point that is also good. That sometimes you have to be careful about things that you talk about because, and I'm not saying that you have to always be on your guard about what you talk about. Just sometimes be mindful of how you approach a topic because it could be a very triggering topic. Somebody could just be sharing an experience. I went to a stream. It was 6 or 7 months ago, just to pop in, and they were talking about how they were sexually assaulted. I didn't know what brought it on. I walked into it, and that could be a trigger for somebody easily, And because his point in here his point he made is you never know when you could accidentally stumble into a stream with a triggering topic too for more sensitive people, and I'm as delicately as you can. Somebody could just have recently gone through something and they stumble into that conversation, it could trigger something easily for them, so yes, you do got to be mindful.
Y'all don't want my comment on that because my comment is if you don't like it, leave.
I'm not saying that you have to be like tiptoeing around it. I'm just maybe sometimes
I do not. Yeah, I don't tiptoe around nothing at all. Like, people are far too fucking sensitive nowadays. You get offended over fucking everything for absolutely no fucking reason. Y'all can lick my fucking ass because if I say something that offends you, you can either come to me about it, like DM me, hey, I did not appreciate this. If you tell me why respectfully and give me a reason, I'm gonna be like, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to offend you like that. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna completely change, but like I'm gonna understand why it bothered you, and I'm going to apologize. I can't guarantee it won't happen again, but it won't be intentional. And I never say anything maliciously.
Exactly. And I was gonna say, you and I have had conversations. The four of us, you, System, me, and Lady, have had conversations where I know what I'm getting into by getting into a conversation with you, right? Could be very direct, very blunt, could rub me the wrong way. And I think you've caught on to because you become, after a minute, I think there's been a moment where the flip switch where like, oh wait, hold on, you've been slightly more sensitive, and you haven't changed the topic, but the bitchiness, let's say, has been maybe dialed back from a 10 to a 9. It might be just a small amount, but you're at least acknowledging that maybe dial it down one notch. Is that fair?
What are we talking about?
I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. I'm just saying, like,
being bitchy?
No. Like, that's the wrong way to phrase it. The energy that you put in.
Lady in his mouth.
I think that's what it was. But you
I
weren't.
was busting her balls. Like I was mad at her.
100%.
Well, yeah. But you went from being full on uber bitch busting balls from a 10. You scaled it back to a 9. I feel like, and maybe I'm.
Well, that's because I wasn't mad anymore. Not that mad. Like it was easing up. But
I mean, you could have easily, went from, not just busting balls, but full on just paddling her ass and making her feel like shit. You made her feel like shit, but.
Oh, I did. I felt like shit for a whole hot part of like.
But you scaled it back at the moment.
I do what I need because I knew she's like my youngest son. If I'm disappointed in him, it tears him up. If I'm disappointed in her, it bothers her a lot.
It bothers me because I'm just an overly, superly sensitive human being.
But also because I think that we have gotten really close in a short amount of time.
Yes.
And my opinion of you, my take on how you're doing things or whatever, it actually means a lot to you, whether you want to admit that or not.
No, it does. 100%.
I had to step it up to 10 to get that point across, and then I backed down because as long as the point was made.
Okay, so you phrased that in a better way. You explained that in a better way that kind of explained my point, is that you went from here, you were here, and you went down. You didn't go down, but you went down. You were.
No, but there is she's 100% right. Like, I care too much what the people in my life that matter to me think about me. So yes.
Well, I think So I wouldn't say that as an all-encompassing statement. Like if I was just being a bitch to be a bitch and saying something mean to you, I would expect you not to give a hot damn.
Right.
But because I was bitching about something that benefits you, that
Right.
is growth for you, that means something to you, that is money spent that you shouldn't be wasting to you.
Yeah. It was a
That-
conversation that I needed to hear even though I didn't want to hear it.
Fair. And I'm here to bring out all the shit nobody wants to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
But-
I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of felt that she was getting a little, like I was being a little too prickly, so I got my point across, and then. I
But you
backed
didn't.
down a little
But
bit.
you also didn't change your point, and that's what I'm saying. And
Mm-mm.
you're saying is that
Mm-mm.
you were aware. You didn't change it. You just changed the intensity. If that's a better way, maybe that makes more sense.
And that kind of same thing would be like if someone came to me with a DM or something and was like, "Hey, so you mentioned this in stream, and this is why that bothered me." It would kind of be the same
Exactly.
same concept, so
Mhm.
to speak. Like it's probably still gonna be there. It just might not be a 10. And
Exactly.
You'll be thankful
Right.
for what you get.
And that's what I was trying to say is that you're not changing the topic. You just might not be so in your face about it.
Well,
Well-
we'll try. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. Okay. You're gonna sit here and nitpick over every fucking word that
I
comes
am
out of my
very much in your face all the time.
Chad. Hopefully the rest of you guys, listeners, I hope y'all get the point that I was trying to make at least. But she's gonna sit here and
I'm
bust
sure
my balls.
they did.
She's gonna bust my balls over every little word that I say. Jesus, it's like having a big sister who's just here to fucking
Can you
rub me the wrong
stop being so sensitive?
Oh, how the tables have turned.
You're being awfully sensitive over there, and if your balls are busted, maybe you should have thought about what you said to make them busted.
way. Moving on. We're just gonna shit.
I mean, just a saying, you don't want to hear it. Maybe you should have been more, thoughtful about what you said.
Look at how the tables have
Dana's
turned.
gonna be herself. Can't blame her for exactly. But she's always.
I
yeah.
am
But from
always
day one.
myself.
But from day one, she has made it clear, and this is what we talked about with Joker, is setting the standard, setting the expectation, so that way people know the quality of what they're going to get.
You give my man shit.
Shut up.
Trust me, I gave him this shit, and I told him how he was going to like it, okay?
Anyway,
If you don't like it,
gave
you
him
can
shit?
get your ass in here, and you can tell us how you feel about this conversation instead of putting your 2 cents in from behind your wife back there, you pussy bitch.
no, technically he can't because Dana's.
How that Mark,
Technically he
lady
can't
was
because
like,
Dana's here.
ripped you a new bowl. You shouldn't have done that, lady. That one is dangerous enough.
He just needs to get in here and have his fair share. He never complain. He never wants to be a part. I'm starting to take it personally. Like, what the
He-
fuck?
He doesn't complain like he just.
Learning
You
that
don't
from
want
me,
no
I hope we
part
can go
of
strong as
any-
friends and I can get guidance.
That's all right. I made it put him in his feels over there. I'm sorry, Mark. We still love you.
but
Look at him with his face, his hand over there.
That's my point. We put him in his feels. I needed to
You
make sure he
feel
knows we
that
still
way.
love you.
Not
But-
at all.
We got Fade in here saying I'm learning a lot, and I'm Fade. I'm glad you're learning from this because this is just observations that you're getting from different streamers and different viewers. But tying in again, because I think Lady kind of cut me off a little bit since she wanted to run her mouth.
Oh.
Tying in what Dana said, what Dana's saying, and what Joker was saying is that the quality of the expectations that you're getting from the streamer, and going what Jake's point is being careful of the topic. As a viewer, flipping that things around. Being a viewer, you should kind of, if you see somebody, you can't get upset initially because if you do your homework on a streamer, right, find out more about them, give them a chance. Don't just judge somebody based on an initial impression. You also have to put your quality time in as a viewer, right? You can't just jump. I know we talk about this, people judge people because they don't get the sales pitch initially from the first going in, like. I'll use Lady. You can't judge her based off of what she might be quiet for a minute because Lady is very one where she's a very wallflowery personality as well. You gotta kind of pry her out and pull her out, talk some shit to her, get her laughing and joking, so you'll get a more real and honest view of her. Whereas with Dana, you're gonna get that right away. Okay, whether you want it or not, you're getting it. Lady, you have to,
It's not wrong.
you got to pull it out, right? And
You do. You gotta coax it out.
exactly. Um, it's like beating off. You know, you got to work for it. You know, you got to work for the reward.
I was
Okay.
like, wait, did he just say what?
So,
Bro,
You mean to beat?
I was not ready. I was not ready.
but
Oh my
I don't
But-
feed off. I rub out.
okay, well, you still got to put the time into it to get the reward.
god! I mean,
I mean,
it
you're
depends
right.
on how good you are.
Right? True.
But
I mean, it
again,
depends on
How
how
good
good
your
you are
toy
and how
is.
good your toy is. Yeah.
but again, you got to put the time in as a viewer, though. You got to put the work into getting to know them. Okay, if we don't learn about the person, right? Judging somebody initially, right? You're missing out. Like honestly, if I hadn't I thought Dana was a bit abrasive at first, but it took the time to get to you. Abrasive might be too harsh, but I had to get to know Dana. I had to
He
like.
called you. He called you one of those scrubby sponges that you like scour your stove with.
I have never
Metal ones?
I have never called her a Brillo pad for starters. Okay, for
Wow.
that has never come out of my mouth. Never ever. Okay. Yeah, she's getting ready to get muted here. I had to go into her stream and actually talk to her, get to know her, learn about her, have conversations with her, see what she likes to do. Oh hell, half the games that she played, yes, she might say they're dull and dry and everything, but I actually enjoy watching her play them. I sit back and I'll sit there and lurk in her stream for quite a bit and watch and learn because I like learning about new games. You know, but again, you have to be able to put the
He's not learning.
you have to be willing to put the time into the streamer as a viewer as well. We talk about putting time in with the viewer and putting the work in, but it also goes the other way around as well. If you're networking,
Yeah.
you have to give that person a chance, a fair chance. Now, if you're going into a stream
I'm
and
gonna
you're
say night to the kiddo. I'm gonna
Alright.
knock off the cam for just a sec.
okay, but you have to put that time in and get to know them and learn about their content. Now, if you're coming in and going and you're hearing nothing but racist or sexist crap and everything, yeah, I'm out. You're not getting another shot from me. Okay, if you're knocking on another streamer and talking shit, you're not getting my support. I don't need that. Okay, maybe a few years ago before I learned how to be when I was being a shithead, sure, I might have engaged a little bit, but now for where I'm at, from where I've grown and evolved to, and everybody's grown and evolved in some way, shape, or form. I'm not that person anymore. I don't like Twitter drama. I don't like drama. I try hard to steer out of it. So I don't talk in some communities because of people that are in there, because it's just easier. I'm going to go where I feel comfortable, where it's drama-free, welcoming, and inviting. I can't, I'm at a point where I can't do it. I go to where I'm comfortable. That's why being on live space, we've harped on this, and Todd's harped on this, and this person's harped on it, and that person. The quality of people that I've met here on live space has been absolutely phenomenal. The quality of character behind the streamer, behind the camera, is absolutely phenomenal. From learning Fate to Dana to Joker to Zara to lurking in some of Jake's streams and Zulish's streams. I love the quality of your characters, and I'm so glad that I gave Dana a real chance, because honestly, all the shit talking aside and all the joking and ball busting aside that we do to each other, Dana is an absolutely fantastic person with a heart of gold. And if I had not given her a fair chance and taken the time to actually get to know her, I would not have such an amazing friend. She is a wonderful person, and just in the short amount of time, the amount of support that she's given my wife means more to me, is worth she deserves every ounce of respect from me because of the kind of person that she is. Streaming aside, but I wouldn't, so hopefully y'all get where I'm trying to say. This all ties into each other. Her as a streamer, her quality of character, the networking, and the things behind the scenes versus on the camera, and how that all combines. And lady, I hope you're listening, because you're just as bad as everybody else when it comes to giving a fair chance. You get in your head about this shit, and sometimes you shut down and don't give a fair chance on it either.
Hell yeah, I do.
So
I am the worst at that. I just assume everybody's out to get me. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'll be honest.
So.
Well, we
It's
gotta
a
get you
bad
out
thing.
we gotta get you out of flight or fight mode.
Mm-hmm.
Fight
I
or
like-
flight. Flight or
We were just talking
That
about
mode.
that today, Lead and I were, because I was having a shit day at work.
But
It's my go-to.
honestly, though, I think we're
Like
kind of.
the fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I don't like the way things are going, I have a backup plan. My backup plan has a backup plan. I don't like not have it. Yeah. It's just who I am. I've always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can
But I
see
think at this point, guys, I think it's safe to say we're kind of spinning our wheels here. We're covering the same stuff, just in different ways.
We
You know,
are.
we've heard different people's takes on it. We've heard Joker's and Dana's take. We've read Chad's takes on this.
having fun.
Yeah, no, we're having fun. I do agree, but for the sake of this podcast episode, I think it's time that we put a pin in it here. We can always revisit this topic later because there's always so many different takes to it and different people's opinions to it. Would love to, if anybody wants to get on and say their spiel about it, we can always put something in the schedule. You know, we're not stopping, and I have plenty of more topics already in line. You know, and I put it on Twitter today. I've got so many ideas, and I hate the fact that I'm at fucking work. I can't. Like, I have so much that I want to do, and I want to do this with Lady and bring more people in.
We've had so much fun with this. This has been such a fun project.
We still got plenty more interviews to do. We've got, don't forget, guys, we've got Sunday. We've got the ladies podcast. You're gonna get on. We're gonna get on here.
2 p.m.
Quick question regarding that. Are we supposed to
Yes,
come
ma'am.
with questions? Is someone else doing questions?
Nope. Lead and Joker are interviewing this 4 ladies.
Oh.
Yep.
They get to ask whatever they want about us as ladies in streaming.
Just your struggles, your journeys, but we want the female perspective on it. You know, like whether you get on here and talk about how men suck because they always think that you're supposed to be in the kitchen, or the girls can't game, you know, all that same shit.
It's just our opportunity to
So,
actually get
any
a moment
ladies-
to take all the penis out of it
Listen, there's
and
gonna be
allow
penis.
it to be this. There's always penis. It's Joker and Lead. I mean, we're going to be talking about butts and dicks like it's tomorrow.
No, honestly.
Hey, same guy.
So, with that being said, guys, don't forget that's Sunday.
Yes.
I gotta look at my calendar. I think we have somebody lined up for Thursday. I just gotta get them back on my calendar and look. If not, we might be advertising that we need somebody for Thursday to come on and do an interview with.
You know,
but-
somebody's got to interview Lead. That's not me.
That's open for debate, but
I'm being serious. Like, I think that would be a really great opportunity for people to get to know you as a streamer.
Well, someone needs to interview you. That's not Lead.
We can talk
you,
about
see,
it.
you saw the fear go through those eyes as they sank in
Yeah.
what you just said. She's
She was like, regret, instant regrets.
yep.
No, we can definitely talk about it. We can talk.
Yeah, no, it was like one of those cartoons. You could just see the smoke coming out. She's got 10-foot trenches built up. She's hitting the brakes.
Jumped off the wheel. It said nope.
It was one of those. There was the flight or fight response. Like, well, how do we get out of this?
I just had this visual for anybody. I hope everybody here is saying, I hope everybody's seen The Mask, but when he's does that whole, his eyes pop out, skull pops out of the mask, everything, and he's just screaming bloody murder. I can literally see that. Like, oh look, she's getting color back in her face. For those of you who are, she's no longer pale white.
You are horrible. I wonder how this podcast is gonna work when we're back in the same room.
I got some ideas for that already. Yeah, guys, we are going to be changing the setup here, and I've got some plans and works for that.
Yes.
To talk about some extra stuff that is coming, we are going to, for those of you who maybe don't have time to catch the live, maybe you don't have time to listen to the Spotify, there is going to be a blog coming where you guys can read up on it. For those of you who like to read or want to get more of a insight to that way, there is going to be something coming that way. Social media is going to be coming out. There is going to be something where you guys can follow along more directly and not have to get lost in specific stuff. There's a lot of that's coming, and hopefully you guys are coming along for the ride. I know you guys are probably all going to say that you are, but just wanted to put that out there. Jake, I do appreciate that offer. We can work something out too to get y'all interviewed. If anybody wants to
Yes.
do that, it's there. Um, yeah, no, and I appreciate it. Yeah, you got this is we're winding down. I just want to put the little advertisement for everybody who's listening. Um,
Yep.
if you
Any
guys,
ladies who want to get in before Sunday, please let me know, or let Lead know, or Dana, or anybody,
mhm.
so we can get you in. I still have spots. It's not a big deal.
And the last thing I'm gonna sign off on is keep an eye on Twitter. I'm gonna be posting a link to the Spotify. I would greatly appreciate everybody, even if you don't have the time to go and listen to it right away, please drop it a follow. Okay, we are trying to work to grow that and expand outwards from there to a point where we might have.
Hmm.
I want to start doing live to where it goes to the live goes there, not just a recording. So I have some goals. I have some projects in the works. But I do need your guys' support there. If you're in Discord, I'm going to post an announcement in Discord as well and open it up that way. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for another great episode. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for your inputs, for your opinions, for your thoughts. And thank you for what y'all bring to the table on this. And with that being said, Lady and I are out of here for the night. So y'all have a great night.
Good night,
We'll
y'all.
see you guys on Thursday, and we will
Yes.
talk to you later.